Yeah, don't worry, Joe. All right, let's go, guys. I think on this side over there. All right, we're on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome here to Cavaliers TV as we get ready for kickoff between Champlain and Schwenegan on an overcast Sunday afternoon in the lovely part of St-Lambert, Quebec, as we are underway in a few moments here, in which we'll have Champlain, who won the coin toss, defer as they'll kick it off going right to left, and Schwenegan go left to right, as Nicolas Tetreault will kick it off here. Brett Brock, good afternoon to you as we get ready for a kickoff here between Champlain and Schwenegan. Champlain has a lot to play for. Schwenegan trying to get themselves on the win column.
Yeah, Schwenegan coming off one embarrassing loss, 6-1 in week 1, and then 19-15 last week. Obviously, the second game was a little closer, but again, they have 0 in the win column. Excellence
versus the Enigma. Could Champlain dream big on this opportunity today? One hopper down to the near side, loose ball, and they're going to take the knee in a late hit, and this will be a flag. And Champlain will give up an extra 15 on a late hit, and there's an injured Schwenegan player on the ground. So right now, a very disjointed start for either side here, Brent, and in particular for Schwenegan. They might be a man down, given already they are very light in the roster today.
But that's exactly it. I mean, it's a pretty bad start. I mean, they fumbled the kickoff. As you mentioned, there's a man down already, and they are light in terms of the number of players that are dressing in this game. Again, this is a team right now 0-2 to start the regular season. They want to get their first win, and right now it's off to a pretty bad start.
Not the start we wanted here, as we are 4 seconds in, and the Schwenegan player up on the ground is number 99 in Edouard Belay, who's going to go off right now. We get the first drive of the day for the RSEQ. Of course, as Brent mentioned before, losing to Victoriaville 66-1, 19-15 to Drummondville. And now we'll see what they do and how to get Julien Leroy, number 2, who's playing the wide side receiver on the near end, on this opportunity. First possession, first play, and we're about to get underway here on the offense for Schwenegan, who have 2 receivers to each side of the attack. Dorion, handoff up the middle to the right side, and tackle for a couple yard gain here, and brought down by B.J. Henry for a second down coming up.
Yes, that's a big run right there. Setting up now second and more manageable for the Schwenegan offense. And this is an offense last year against Champlain. They struggled to pass the ball. I believe they had 2 quarterbacks playing in that game. They combined for less than 10 completions. But they did run the ball effectively against Champlain. So that's going to be something that the Cavaliers are going to have to stop and plug up here this afternoon.
2nd and 4 coming up here for Dorion on the offense. Again, a 2-by-2 receiver formation with Daniel as the second receiver to the right, and whistles and flags, and that's very common right now with the flags, and there's early movement here on the line, and this in all likelihood going against Schwenegan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Theo Aubin, the big right tackler, jumping offside.
And again, Schwenegan very scarce for points, only 16 after 2 games, an average of 8. And of course, he did score a single against Victoriaville, fortnight to go. So this will be moved back 5 weeks, 2nd down and long. Coming up here for the RSEQ with 14:09 left in this first quarter of play from Seaway 3. And we'll see now where they go. Leroy is now the receiver to the far end of the formation. 2-by-2 once again, 2 running backs in the backfield. Blitz from Champlain, looking towards the right. That is through the hands, incomplete, intended for Landry. It'll be 3rd down coming up here for the RSEQ.
Yeah, so that pass there, I mean, it's a bit of a flutter ball right there, but it's still definitely a catchable ball, run right through the hands of the receiver. And obviously right now it's going to be 3rd and long. I mean, that's a catch you have to make if you're the receiver, and Landry.
Yeah, Landry, of course, a player who is playing the wide side spot for this team. So far, 1 catch for 30 yards and a touchdown. And a guy who can probably burn it for this team as he's lining up against number 2 and Charles Lafontaine on the near side. So once again, Schwenegan keeping with the same formation, a 2-by-2 look with 2 running backs in the backfield. Champlain's got 6 inside the box. Pass deep middle, that's caught, and a big hit, and a big catch by Isaac Fournier, and that will be enough for a first down. Fournier had 1 catch for 15, and now making 2 catches for over 25 yards.
Yeah, it's a great catch there by Fournier. 2nd catch of the year, surviving the big hit there by number 34, for the Cavs, and that was Sam Hurdubias. Had a chance to call the week 1 action here, and I had to call his name a lot. He was around the ball throughout the contest, and the week 1 victory, obviously around the ball right now early in this contest as well.
1st and 10, new set of downs from the 49 for Schwenegan. They're now approaching towards the midfield stripe. Handoff up the middle, and nothing but Swampland of black uniforms brought down this time by number 96 and William Rollon, and it'll be 2nd down coming up here for Schwenegan.
Yeah, Rollon was in there. Caleb Sassy was in there as well. Another player on the defensive line who was in there. Great penetration by the D-line, just getting into the backfield, blowing through the O-line, blowing through the blocks, pardon me. Good job by the D-line of getting into the run fit.
2nd down and 11. So a loss of 1 on that play for Schwenegan. And Leroy is now the far receiver to the left of the formation here. Champlain's got 6 in the box. Looking to get off as early as they can on this opening possession. Going deep, far side. And that is incomplete, intended for, of course, the aforementioned Julien Leroy, and now it'll be 3rd down and the money down coming up here for Schwenegan. Brent, what is the key now for Schwenegan with the win picking up at field level?
They're going to have to find a way to move the ball. I mean, listen, the first run play, picked up about 5-6 yards, and after that, Champlain's done a good job stuffing the run. So right now, 3rd and long, they're going to have to go back to the pass, but not on the outside like they just did, not outside the numbers. They have to go over the middle and try to take advantage of their size that they have, perhaps over the safety in Charles Lafontaine for the Cavs.
Champlain going 2 linebackers, 6 DBs on this formation. Flag on the play, early movement, and again, early movement by Schwenegan. So this will become 3rd and very difficult, 3rd and 16 from the 44. And again, for Schwenegan, they're going backwards and forward. A very disjointed opening possession for them on this first quarter of action.
So that's going to have to change up the playbook a little bit, obviously, for Jean Boutet, the offensive coordinator for Schwenegan Electric. I mean, I was talking about before on 3rd and 11, you can throw those intermediate passes about 8 to 10 yards and maybe get a couple yak yards to pick up the first. Now, 3rd and forever, 3rd and 16, you're going to have to go deep.
Yeah, off the banks of the St. Lawrence, the winds are picking up here from St-Lambert, Quebec, from Seaway 3 on an overcast Sunday afternoon here. Almost football weather in late October, but we're mid-September. 3rd down. Looking towards the left, pumping, going deep, has a man in double coverage intended for Julien Leroy, and flags on the play, and this might be going against Champlain, and this will be a new set of downs for the visitors from Shawinigan.
Yeah, it's going to be pass interference against number 19, Elliot Levasseur. He had a strong game in week 1, but see, his problem right there was he tracked the ball perfectly going through the air, but what he did is he impeded the receiver. He didn't let the receiver finish his route. He basically cut off the route of the receiver. That's where the pass interference penalty is going to come from. He made a little bit of contact at the end, and obviously as a defensive back, you can't do that.
And now that ball will be marked inside the plus territory of the St-Lambert end of the field. And this will be marked off officially from the referee, still conversing with this far judge here, Conrad Keeble. And they'll move it back by a couple more yards. And this will be now pinpoint at the 51-yard line of the plus side. So for the first time today, Schwenegan inside the Champlain territory. Could they come up with points, or will this be an empty draw for them? Still with this traditional 2-by-2 look with 2 running backs. High snap. Handoff to the right, and nothing but black swampland again. Coming through is Wyatt Tannehill as he devoured number 26 in Aurélien Vincent.
Yeah, once again, great penetration right there by the defensive line, especially at the 1 technique and the 3 technique. The nose tackle and the defensive tackle just flushing their way right into the backfield right away. The running back, he's a big guy back there, got the handoff, but he had no chance to make a move. It's pretty much as soon as he got the handoff from the quarterback, he saw a bunch of black and blue jerseys right in his face.
Yeah, Vincent has over 130 yards rushing on 20 carries this year. He's in the backfield to the right of Dorion. And again, we talk about the big hitter on this offense, Julien Leroy, who's playing to the far side of the formation. Dropping back 3 steps, looking towards the deep left, and picked off. Flag in the play, though. This might be all for naught. That was picked off by Philippe Cote, but we'll see who the flag is for and against, and this might be all for naught for Champlain.
Yeah, I see some of the old linemen from Schwenegan celebrating, so the call is obviously going to go against Champlain.
And they will move it up here. So Champlain shooting themselves in the foot as we're almost 5 minutes through in this first quarter play from Seaway. Brent Block and Mo Khan on this Sunday afternoon, and Jack Nudie with the call. And contact it is. So that play all for naught for Champlain. And now a new set of downs. 1st and 10 inside the 43.5 of the Champlain territory. And Julien now is on the near side, occupying the width on the right. Dorion looking to see what he has. Single back formation. Handoff up the middle. Vincent is grinding his legs, working out the legs yesterday and showing the strength today. And that will be enough for a first down once again. Or I beg your pardon, that should be about 4 or 5 yard gain as the sticks were not moved properly initially.
Yeah, the rookie, the big man there, Vincent, a nice run right up to the left-hand side. Looked like he went right off the tackle and picking up a big gain there. So obviously it's not enough for the first down, but now again it sets up a little bit more easier yardage. No, this is a first down.
Officially, it's a first down. Sticks were off initially, but now they're corrected. So it'll be first down, Brent, from the 36-yard line. Occupying the far width this time is St-Lambert, who's to the far left. 2-by-2 receiving formation, 2 running backs once again. Motion towards the left side, looking towards the right. That's a hitch pass caught, and nothing but a 2-yard gain for Leroy. He was brought down by a couple of Champlain players. It'll be second down with 9:15 left.
That's a great job right there by number 22, Charles Blanchard. Reading the screen right away. That was the screen. The design was nice, but the execution was a little bit sloppy. And we saw the defensive back there in Blanchard. He was just sitting at home. He saw the screen develop. He shot down like a torpedo and blew up that play right away.
It'll be second and 9. So 1 yard gain from the 34-yard line. Leroy again holding to the width on the near right. Single back formation in the backfield is an opportunity. Champlain blitzing up the middle and stuffed for a loss. Brought down is Goyer, and he was tackled this time by Lightfoot, who shot from the cannon, as Brent said, like a torpedo before, and blew up that play in the backfield.
Yeah, that play had no chance of happening. And it seems to be Schwenegan, their style of play so far. They have one big run, and then they get stuffed 2-3 times in a row. So they had another big run, and get first play of the game, big run, they got stuffed. A few plays ago, they had a big run by Vincent. They got stuffed again.
It's like the old adage, 2 for me, 1 for you.
Yeah.
And it'll be third and 13. Another money down play for Schwenegan. They kept their hopes alive and a couple of penalties. Can they do so again? Drop back 3-step blitz, swing, hitch, and that's a screen pass instead. Vincent, and he's brought down this time quickly by Blanchard. And now a decision here for Schwenegan. Do they go for the field goal, given it's no man's land in terms of where they're positioned at the 34-yard line right hash?
Yeah, it appears to be they're going to go for the field goal. So that screen there, that was the second screen they ran, I believe, this drive. The execution of that, it was good. The running back was able to get open. The quarterback was able to really sell the screen. We saw Ryan McManny, pardon me, he was down there. He got full William Rowland as well. The problem was, though, with the offensive linemen, when they got downfield, they weren't able to get any blocks on any of the Cavs defenders, which is why that screen only picked up 2 yards.
So it is going to be Aurélien Vincent. This will be a left footer. Might be a tricky kick shot here. And a high snap. The kick and the operation is no good. Wide right. That's returnable. One hop. Go to the far side. Space to work with. Oodles of Seaway. And away they go down the sideline to the 30. And forced out of bounds is Charles Lafontaine. And now coming into the game for the first time is Luca De La Sala, who will make his debut on this drive for the Champlain Cavaliers as they now open up their account on offense. So Schwenegan comes up empty with 7:06 left here, Brent. What can we expect here from this offense moving forward?
Well, from the Schwenegan offense, I mean, they have to mix up the run and mix up the pass. They haven't been successful passing the ball, with the exception of getting a pass, I believe 2 pass interference penalties going against the Cavaliers secondary. So if you're Schwenegan, you have to mix up the pass and mix in the run.
302 yards against Lionel Dare last Saturday on the road. And the handoff up to the right side. And Shamar Parkinson is grinding his way through using his deltoids. And he'll get about a couple of yards, maybe 1, if not 2, on the play. It'll be second down coming up here for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Shamar Parkinson, arguably the best player on this offense. Dual threat running back, able to obviously run the ball, as you saw right there. With his second and third effort to pick up some positive, not even positive yardage, pardon me. He actually got dropped for no gain. That could have been a loss of 2 or 3, but obviously a good receiver at the backfield as well. So he's someone that the Schwenegan defense is going to have to keep an eye on.
Over 150 yards combined, running and catching. Low snap, Parkinson, and he is going to be devoured. And that was a play that looked disastrous from the start. And that will be a loss of about 5 or 6. And this will become third and extremely long here with 6:05 left here. And Brent, as this game progresses, notice the opening drive here, this can grow in confidence for Schwenegan if Champlain is a little bit off with their offense.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, right now, the Cavs offense is moving the opposite way they need to. They're moving backwards, 3rd and forever now, 3rd and 16. If you're Schwenegan, you're taking this all day long.
Lacking their ruthlessness so far. Hitch pass that is caught R.J. Frederick, and P.J. Frederick that is, and he is brought down by a deluge of white. It'll be 4th down with 5:40 left, and now Shaw Maine is in no man's land for this punt here. Do you give up the 2 and play the field position, given again that the wind is blowing, going left to right?
I mean, you're exactly right with the weather conditions right now with the wind blowing. But if I'm head coach Sean Main, I know it is tempting to give up the safety due to field position. But you know what? Your defense, they were able to block a field goal, or at least stop them from scoring a field goal. If I was Sean Main, I would just punt the ball back and put the game in the hands of my defense.
We'll see now if this will be a clean snap. It is this time, and that is off and running to the center field position. That is returnable from the circle. Brought this time by Brosseau to the far side. He goes inside the plus territory, and he is tackled dead on the line of the 50-yard line. And that is where Schwenegan will begin their next drive, their second of this opening quarter. 5:03 left here. Brent Block and Mo Khan on this overcast Sunday afternoon in South Shore of Quebec, of Montreal, that is. And right now, Brent, what can we see from this Schwenegan offense? They kept with the same formation of a 2-by-2 look with 2 running backs. Do you think they deviate off of that, go with the trips left or right on this next series?
I think it might be smart for them actually to stick with the 2 running back look, sticking to 22 just because, again, a lot of their offense is revolving around the screen game, right now. So you can throw it to your running back, you can throw it to your fullback, you can get an extra blocker in there for protection because obviously right now the offensive line is not holding up for Schwenegan.
Champlain showing blitz, early movement, and a bit of a twitch from the O-line from Schwenegan, so they'll move them back 5, and those become first and 15. And that will be from the 54-yard line of the Champlain territory.
And I believe that's the 3rd false start going against the Schwenegan offense. I mean, they just got a gift right now. Their defense made a huge stop. They got the ball back just around midfield, actually on Champlain's side of the field. But again, another false start penalty, driving the ball right back to midfield now. For your Schwenegan, you have to take advantage of the opportunities that you get, and going backwards is not the way to do it.
South of 4:35 left here in this first quarter play. Leroy now to the near side of the formation. Again, 2-by-2 is their traditional look. Overload to the left. Hitch pass right. That's caught by Leroy. And he is brought down once again like a magnet from Charles Blanchard, who has babysat him on that play 2 plays in a row on that hitch pass.
So Blanchard again, like you said, blowing up another hitch pass, or what would have been a screen. And right there, the blame doesn't go to the receiver on that. The blame goes to number 11, Raphael Gougion. He has to block. The only man in front of him is Blanchard. If he's able to pick up that block, not even a great block, just a solid block to tie him up for a second or two, the receiver is going to be able to get some yards on the outside. But Blanchard was able to fight off the block and still make the tackle pretty much at the same time.
Brosseau now the near side receiver of the formation. Play action, looking towards the left, middle, and incomplete, intended for Gougion, and well defended this time by number 34 in Simon Hurtubise, who was Brent's favorite player of fortnights ago.
And that's exactly it, around the ball. I said it earlier, he's around the ball. Nice play right there. I mean, the pass was a little bit behind the receiver, but it was still a catchable ball. But Hurtubise got his hand in there and knocked that ball away at the last second. This is a player to watch. A lot of veteran leadership left off of the Champlain defense from last year. He's a first-year player, I believe, in Hurtubise, but he is stepping up big time so far this season. 3:33
left here in this first quarter play. It'll be 3rd and Schwenegan, exactly 17 yards to the first down marker from the 54 of their territory. So they move back 7 on this second series for them. And we'll see who will be the money maker on this play here for Dorion. Looking towards his right. Plenty of time. Going deep, near side. Is this pickable? It is. And returnable out of bounds and returned by number 21, Philippe Cote. And by fluke, Leroy had his back towards the play and still forced him out of bounds, which could have been a pick 6 going the other way.
Now again, so you're throwing the ball into the wind. That was a sloppy pass. It was a bad pass that probably shouldn't have been thrown. But if you're the receiver right there, Julien Leroy, you have to fight for the ball. You have to at least try to knock it down. On that play, the receiver becomes the defensive back. You have to put up a fight or something. He just pretty much stood there and let the defensive back pick it off.
All right, De La Salle back in at quarterback. We'll see what he does on this second series. Empty backfield. Near side pass caught by Parkinson, and he will split through and brought down by 3, if not 4, Schwenegan players led by Paul Konate Pratt on the tackle.
So nice pass there by De La Salle, and even better job making a catch and picking up some yak yards after the catch by the electric Parkinson right there. Now setting up very manageable 2nd and 2 now. That opens up a plethora of plays for this Cavaliers offense.
From the 46.5 of the Champlain territory, it'll be 2nd and 2. And we'll see now with Frederick Plain, the near side receiver, occupying the width on the near side. Low snap, and Trey Bentley in the quarterback, and he will run it, and he's going to be short and brought down by the aforementioned Konate Pratt as he snuffed that out like a centurion at the linebacker position.
And that's a rare stop on the run, and had a chance, obviously, in week 1 to see him run. The one call that he had for him was a 23-yard run against Drummondville. He took it off down the sideline. He actually almost scored a touchdown in that contest. This obviously a bit different of a play design, having him run straight up the middle. Unfortunately, the hole wasn't there for the ultra-quick Bentley.
So Bentley's still in at quarterback and looking to get that first down. Be 33 from the 45-yard line. Parkerson in the backfield, tight end right.
He's not afraid to throw the ball. He does run first, but he's not afraid to throw.
And here is Bentley flagging the play, and it'll be early movement on Champlain. So this will become a little bit more difficult. 3rd and 8 now from the Champlain territory from the 40-yard line coming up here, Brent.
Yeah, so we see De La Sala going back in and Bentley coming back to the bench now. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because Bentley could have passed on that play. It looks like he was going to pass, but he could have passed. He could have elected to run with the ball, to tuck and run as well. So obviously now with that penalty, it's going to probably be a passing situation for sure right here for the Cavs. So if you're Schwenegan, you have to pin your ears back and try to get some pressure after the quarterback.
135 left, trips right for the quarterback. Going near side, almost picked off, intended for Labrec-Laurie. And there was not one, not two, but 3 Schwenegan players right there. Will be a punt coming up here with 1:30 left. So what looked promising for Champlain ends up being empty, and it'll be a punt coming up here for the Cavaliers. And now Schwenegan about to have the returner back, Brousseau, parked off at his 22-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's probably just a miscommunication right there between the receiver and the quarterback. I think the receiver thought he was supposed to do an out, where the quarterback thought I think he was just going to do a hook over the middle.
The telepathy was not there for Champlain on that last play. And that is going to be a short shank. Takes a one-hopper, favorable for Champlain, and returnable now for Brousseau to the far side. He's got speed. He's twitching up ahead. Pirouettes, evades not one, not two. Now looking to make it a third miss. He does. To the near side he goes, and he is going to be brought down from the neck by number 51 for Champlain in Gavin McGravy, and that will be extra yards added to the run by Brousseau.
Yeah, I believe that's Brousseau who's hurt right now.
And McGravy called for that, and Brousseau is definitely down. And again, Schwenegan, Brent, has very minimal bodies available in this matchup.
Yeah, again, I mean, you look at the rosters right now. Schwenegan right now has about, I want to say, about between 15 to 18 less players dressed for this contest than do the Champlain Cavaliers. So it's nice to see that player. The best part of me was Marc-Antoine Montour, who was the injured player, so he's able to get up and get back to the sideline.
So with this now parked off at the 42-yard line, we're inside a minute left here. It's still 0-0 between Schwenegan and Champlain. As the game keeps on going longer like this, you wonder if the jeopardy will get even bigger for Champlain, knowing that 2-0, they control their destiny to maybe being a home team for the playoffs this year. Handoff left, going up, Vesson, and he is walled off, brought down by a couple of Champlain players. And this will be second down coming up here, maybe for a 1-yard gain at best. And this will be 2nd and 9, if not 2nd and 10.
And you see the big man there, number 4, Ryan Rickmanny. He did not make the tackle. He didn't miss the tackle on the play, but what his penetration into the backfield was able to do, he caused the running back to have to take that run to the outside where there was a couple of black jerseys waiting for him. So Rickmanny did not make the tackle, but he caused that pretty much to be a minimal, actually a gain for no yards.
This should be the last play of the first quarter. Could this be the money play for Schwenegan on the last play of this first quarter of action here from Seaway? Looking towards the left, stepping up, going to take off Dorian onto the 40, 35 far side, and he's going to be very close to a first down and a crash of humanity with the tackle coming in from Charles Lafontaine. And we'll see where they mark it off here at the end of the first quarter play, Brent.
Yeah, big run right there. Yeah, big run. I mean, I'm not sure if he picked up the first down or not, but that's a gutsy run there by the quarterback.
This time, well, by Fortin Deschamps, I beg your pardon, as the roster was a little bit off there with 2 number 1s.
Yeah, so there's a big run there by Fortin Deschamps. So again, we're not sure. They haven't put on the scoreboard yet whether they got the first down or not. But again, that's what you want out of your quarterback. A gutsy play like that. Do what you can. Sometimes you have to tuck the ball and run when there's nothing open in terms of a pass, and that's what he did right there.
And for Fortin Deschamps, 191 yards passing during the regular season. Very minimal so far. But right now, Schwenegan is in the score zone as they are inching ever so close and starting to ask questions of this Champlain defense on if they can hold serve again. And you wonder for Sean Manning, for this defense, if they might dial up another blitz or two to force Fortin Deschamps to make another errant throw. And they're going to go with the win here in this second quarter play.
Yeah, so the run wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And it will be 3rd and 2 coming up here. So the hamburger package comes in for the Schwenegan offense, 2 in the backfield, and that'll be a quarterback sneak literally up the middle with no one touching the quarterback in Fortin Deschamps, and it'll be a first down, and they're definitely in the score zone here, maybe setting the tone with the yard marker of maybe 3, if not 7 points.
Yeah, good job by the center. As soon as he snapped that ball, He helped the guard pin down one of the defensive the nose tackle part of me, and was able to create that big opening for the quarterback to sneak right up the middle. So for sure, I can guarantee you that is a first down. I had said a first down before they had set the clock. It looked like it was a first down, then they put it back to 3rd and 2.
Your eyes are deceiving you, Brent. They are deceiving you.
Scoreboard's playing tricks on me.
No question. Goujon is the second receiver to the right of the formation of this offense. Fortin Deschamps from the pistol formation. Looking towards his left. Caught, and that will be a quick catch by Isaac Fournier. And that will be second down coming up here. And for Fournier, again, 1 catch for 15 during the regular season, making 2 catches for the season over 20 yards.
Yeah, big catch right there. He saw the opening in the zone by the Cavaliers defense. He just sat down. He's able to make that catch, made himself an easy, visible target for his quarterback.
It'll be second down and 7, so it'll be a 3-yard gain exactly. Marked off now at the 25-yard line. As this field goal range, we'll find out if they don't hit on these next 2 plays. Fortin Deschamps. Handoff up the middle. Vincent brought down. He gets away from Rakami, and that'll be enough for a first time as he blasts his way through. And he was brought down this time by Lavasseur and co. And now they're inside the red zone for the first time today.
Yeah, great job right there by the running back. Looked like he was going to be stopped for a minimal gain right there. Keeping the legs moving. Had his shoulders pointed forward, tilting forward, pardon me. Kept the legs moving, kept his feet moving.
Timeout. Sorry, Brent. Sean Main calling a timeout right now, realizing that this team's trying to get stretched here on defense with that run.
Yeah, had sent in, I believe number 96 came in. William Rowland came in off the bench after that run, but they tried to make a couple other substitutions as well. A good timeout here by head coach Sean Main just to give his defense a rest right now.
A little quick respite here, but right now their defense is being pushed back by the wall of white from Schwenegan, and they're starting to close in for maybe 3, if not 7 points in this first half. 13:07 left here. Brent Block and Mocon this overcast Sunday afternoon in lovely St-Lambert, Quebec, off the shores of the St. Lawrence, overlooking the downtown skyline. And it's very windy here in our broadcast booth. Good thing we dressed up today.
Definitely. I mean, dying days of summer right now. I mean,
it is the last weekend of summer officially. Yeah. It's fall as of Monday, I believe, or Tuesday.
I think the 22nd, I believe, is the last day.
Whatever day it is.
22nd, I think, is the first day of fall. Regardless whether it's the first day of fall or the last day of summer, it's cold. Here it's windy. The temperature's dropping, but I mean, this is it, right? I mean, this is football weather. This is what we have to expect, right?
Yeah, skin's getting a little ashy right now, but that's another story for the day. All right, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line of the Champlain territory. Timeout called by Sean Main. Rakami will come off for the Cavaliers as they bring a little bit more speed to work with. And you wonder now if this might be Julien Leroy's time here as he's on the far side of the formation of this attacking front. Looking towards the left. Time going near side corner. Incomplete, intended for Tristan Landry. That ball had too much depth on that pass. It'll be second down coming up here for the Schwenegan Electric.
That great coverage there by Charles Lafontaine. Usually playing safety, but he's lined up at corner in this contest. So what he did he used the sideline as his friend. He used the sideline as an extra defender. So the quarterback, the only way to get that pass off, it would have been a perfect pass between the DB and the sideline.
It'll be second down coming up here for the Schwenegan Electric. Fortin Deschamps. Handoff. Vincent evades 1, but he's brought down by 4. And a suplex of a finish coming in from Wyatt Tannehill. And it'll be third down coming up for the Electric. And you wonder now, with the rain starting to maybe drizzle a little bit more than before, how this will play out for the Electric.
And a great job, again, by number 4, Rayan Rekmani. Getting into the backfield, his penetration is great, but he has to finish. He has to make those tackles. So far, coming into this game, 3 tackles and a sack on the season. He should have at least 2 more in this game.
Third down coming up from the left hash mark. Under center, and that is going to be play action looking towards the right side. Sack for a loss. Fumble on the play. Play is going to be called dead, and that will be it for that as Caleb Sassy came in unimpeded and wrecked the play, and a Schwenegan player down on the ground. But this will be a field goal now as Champlain will hold serve on what had been initially a tough drive for them and try to stop this Schwenegan offense.
Yeah, great penetration, great blitz right up the A-gap. Both A-gaps by the Champlain defense. Like Caleb Sassy was in there. I think number 46, Jordan Casey was in there as well. They're saying the quarterback was down. Looks like from our vantage point, it may have been a little bit early of a whistle, but at least they kept the Schwenegan Electrics out of the end zone. Let's see if they can block this field goal now.
Field goal, dead center. Hole. Kick is up and good. 3-0 lead for Schwenegan. The Electric get the first 3 points as they strike here on a kick from Vincent. And this will be now Champlain's time to come back in this ball game here. As now we'll see coming into the game will be Noah Dilulu Langelier, as Champlain will go with his #1 quarterback here for the second quarter of play. And now for the Cavaliers, we'll just see a different attacking flamboyance coming in with what they have to do in this matchup right now. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line near side, or now make it to the far side. 3 receivers to the right of Langelier. From the pistol formation, handoff up the middle, and Parkinson is pirouetting his way through, and he's brought down for maybe 2 yards, and he was brought down by number 89, and Quentin Joly from the D-line.
Obviously, Champlain benching his starting quarterback for the first quarter, along with Noah Sassy as well. A little bit of a discipline issue with both players, which is why we saw De La Sala starting the game instead of Dilulu Langier.
Be 2nd and 7, and again, it trips right with Parkinson in the backfield. Schwenegan blitz, looking towards the left. That is caught and forced out of bounds is the tall player in P.J. Frederick for a 3, if not 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down coming up here.
Yeah, Frederick's an interesting receiver. I believe he's the tallest receiver on this roster. He has a lot of speed, too, a lot of size. Bit of a finesse receiver. Obviously, he's going to have to put on a little bit more muscle, but he's the type of player. I've seen him in a couple of practices as well. Like, this kid is a baller. He's going to get better and better as time goes on. Right now, as he learns about the university, the collegiate game. A lot of talent right there, number 82.
3rd down coming up here for Champlain. Blitz from the near side, handoff up the middle. Parkinson blasts his way through midfield, and he gallops up ahead, stiff arms one player. To the near side, he comes up ahead, and he's forced out bounds for enough for a 1st down as he was pushed out by number 30 in Montour. And Champlain getting their biggest play of the day of this afternoon.
A great player. See, and that's not talking about the electricity right there by Parkinson, who now is going to the bench, getting a well-deserved rest. The stiff arm he just put on number 3, Simon Arsenault, was Derrick Henry-like. He bursts into the open field, and he is so hard to bring down once he gets a full head of steam.
A Pearson run, a blistering finish by him. 9:30 left here, 3-0 lead for Schwenegan. Empty backfield. Langelier going to the left side. That is caught by Noah Sassy to the far side, 30. Up to the 25, and a flag on the play. And we'll see who this will be for and against. And this will be going against Champlain from the look from the far side referee. So not a happy conclusion on that. But you see Champlain showing a little bit more bite, a little bit more purchase in how they're looking on offense right now.
Yeah, head official Jad Nudi, he's calling illegal block in the back. So one of the Champlain receivers downfield did a block from behind on one of the defensive players of Schwenegan, which is why it's going to end up being 2nd and 20 now from the 32-yard line for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, pretty much from the Champlain Bridge as we look at it right now for the Cavaliers here. Jaden Edgehill now to the near side receiver of the right of the formation. Referee will readjust the football once again. This will be to the right hash mark, in fact. So they'll flip over the formation here, and they'll reconvene for another huddle here on this situation coming up here with 9:06 left in this first half of play. Langelier. Backfield, play action. He's forced out to the near side, rolling out, buying time, and he's going to take off and get about 5, if not 6 yards on the play. And what would have been dead to rights, he gets up there in time for a couple more yards for the Cavaliers.
And that's the threat that Langelier brings to this lineup, able to beat teams obviously with his arm, being quarterback, but with his legs as well.
And with that, it'll be 3rd down and 15 for the Cavaliers. 8:51 left again. No man's land for a field goal here. They might need to get another 10 more yards, if so, in this situation for them here. So with that, 3rd and 15 for the Cavaliers. Langelier looking towards the left. He is going to take off to the right and brought down for very minimal gain as he was snuffed down by Justin Patry on the tackle. And now it'll be 4th down with 8:25 left here in this quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a design run or not. It looks like I think Champlain's going to keep the offense on the field right here at the 37-yard line. I'm not sure if that previous play was a design run or not, but that went nowhere. I mean, none of the receivers are open downfield, so I guess Langier just had to take off and try and scramble for something.
So this is now a 3rd and 14 for the Cavaliers, and not much in the playbook in terms of the 3rd and 14 conversion here for the Cavs if they want to get this first down and this matchup right now. Langier, look now. He's got an overload to the right of the formation. Making 4 receivers tied into that right of the attacking armory. Looking towards the left, roll it to the right. Short pass that's caught, and absolutely nothing but a cul-de-sac of white uniforms. And that will be the end of that play here as Labrec-Laurie brought down for very minimal gain.
Yeah, that play was pretty much a disaster from the start. We saw the dump off there in the flats to Labrec-Laurie. But the defense, they saw that right away. And even the quarterback, Langier, look, that was his last read, I think, right there. Nothing was open deep downfield. Good job by Schwenegan of taking away the deep ball.
And I set to punt the ball is Matthew LaRose for the Cavaliers here from Seaway. The rain picking up as we see from our vantage point. And this will be booted to the near side. That's going to carry up ahead inside the 10-yard line. Returnable for Brosseau on a one-hop to the near side. He assesses, and now fumble. Loose ball, and that will be recovered by Edouard Belay for the Schwenegan Electric, because if he did not recover it, that's going for 6.
Yeah, definitely good job there by number 99. The defensive lineman blocking on this punt return. Good job by him being aware and falling on that ball, because that would have been a disaster. Even if Champlain wouldn't be able to scoop and score that, they would have had the ball, I believe, at about the 12-yard line. So it would have been definitely Champlain would have came away with at least some kind of points.
So now in the shadows of their goalposts, what does Schwenegan have in their bag of tricks to get out of this tough situation of where they're positioned from the geography of the football field?
I feel the Cavs now. So they're playing, I think they're going to roll into a cover 2 right here.
6:50 left here, and for Fortin Deschamps, can he see what's being there? Hand off to the right side. Vincent now bats to the wide side, and he turns upfield, and a flag in the play. And if that holds, it would be for a 3, if not 4-yard gain, but we'll see who the flag is against.
Yeah, it could be in the area of holding possibly against Schwenegan. Yeah, and that's exactly what the call is going to be.
So with that, Schwenegan will be going in reverse, not the direction that they desire, and they will now be literally occupying the postal code of the 5-yard line, it looks like it, from the territory. With 6:37 left here in this first half of play. Brent Bach and Mo Khan on this rainy Sunday afternoon in St-Lambert, Quebec, and it will be Schwenegan 2nd and 20 now exactly.
And what that flag tells you, that flag came out extremely late, so the running back had already turned the corner to pick up some positive yardage.
Well, that wasn't positive at the end. And now it'll be 3 receivers now to the right of the formation.
It's offside.
Whistle on the play, and early movement again, as Brent Bakken says now will be offside, and indeed it will be 5 free yards for the Electrics. Will be 1st and 15 now from the 10-yard line.
Well, the call part of me is actually going to defense, I believe.
That's right. It was you called offside, which I thought is what you meant for Champlain, for going against Champlain, which is the case, indeed the case.
I was actually calling it on Schwenegan. Number 6, the receiver, Isaac Fournier, he was well ahead of the ball before the snap. That was the offside I was talking about, but obviously clearly then there was an offside encroachment on the defense as well.
South of 6 left in this first half. Under center is Fortin Deschamps. Vincent is in the backfield. Champlain drops back into coverage. Hand off to the right side. And right there to ID it and take it out was Caleb Sassy, who held firm at the line of scrimmage for maybe 1, if not 2-yard gain.
Yeah, good job right there. Again, doing that, getting down for that run fit there by Sassy, stuffing that up. And that's what I talked about earlier in the first quarter. One big run by Schwenegan, and then they get stuffed a couple times in a row. So we had that one big run there on the first down, which got called back because of the penalty. And now we see the linebackers shooting down to the gaps. Good job by the D-line of tying up the blockers up front, letting the linebackers flow free right to the ball carrier.
And right now there's been no free-flowing offense from either side. Only 3 points scored, and that's from the visitors from Shawinigan. Fortin Deschamps, 2-by-2 look again for the Electric. Champlain, will they send the house or they drop back? They'll drop back instead with a 4-man rush. Going to the near side, that's popped up in the air, and that ball is going towards the Champlain bench intended for Isaac Fournier It'll be a third down coming up here for the RSEQ.
Now this is big right here in this third and long for the Champlain defense. You want to hold right here. You want to force Schwenegan either to punt or, like we talked about before, to give up the safety here and try to play that field position game. If you're Champlain, you cannot give up a first down right here. If you can get the ball back and even get some points as well, you take back the momentum that Schwenegan has established so far in this second quarter.
Well, another disjointed first half for the Cavaliers, and for Schwenegan, they are definitely playing with house money with what they've done so far. Handoff, Venson's got a hole, and he's brought down. And that is well read and definitely ID'd by Caleb Sassy. So they get a few more yards left here, Brent. If you are Schwenegan, do you go up the 2 to play the field position, or do you punt it outright?
I do exactly what the Cavs did. I punt the ball and then trust my defense to come up with a stop. Right now, I mean, listen, the Cavaliers have 0 on the scoreboard because of the Schwenegan defense. Pardon me. If I'm their coach, I'm doing the exact same thing right here. Get the ball back. Don't worry about giving up two points for the safety. Let the defense figure things out.
Well, set to punt the ball is Combe Bergeron, who's about a yard deep in his territory as we were inside 4 minutes left in this first half. Ball's on the 12-yard line of the Schwenegan territory, and the returnable is Lebec-Larry, who's now hovering at the 44 or 45-yard line. This is going to be punted to the near side. It's going to take a one-hopper and out of bounds at the make it the 44-yard line officially. So a good punt. And now Champlain is in great real estate here if they're able to cash it in for a big touchdown.
Yes, right now, yeah, exactly. Champlain has right now the field position on their side. They have the ball. They have times on their side as well. 3:39, as you talked about, more remaining here in the first half. That's a pretty good punt, though. That punt got all the way out to the 45-yard line. So it's about a 45-yard punt right there. Let's see now the Champlain Cavaliers could capitalize on this field position and get some points on the board.
Well, for this offense, Langelet will have to get this revved up. Blitz from the middle, and that's going to be handoff. Bounce off as Parkinson to the right side. Now turning up field, and he's met this time by Montour. 2 big dreadnoughts going at it at the height of the collision, and this will be for about an 8-yard gain coming up.
Yes, injured player. I believe that's Frederick, the receiver there.
And it's his right ankle, and again, when the turf gets slippery, it gets very tricky trying to navigate through the unknowns of this turf here. So with 3:18 left, Champlain will have 2nd and 2 from the 36-yard line. Brent Bach and Mokar on this Sunday afternoon in what is now a rainy day. Not the most enjoyable day of football if you're trying to protect the football in your hands.
Protect the football, protect your broadcast notes, same thing.
I'm really dry right now with my umbrella here, so I've come prepared.
So let's go back to that previous run there by Parkinson. See, did a good job right there. The blocker, the receiver actually, number 88, Thomas Batten, was kind of pushed back into the backfield. He wasn't able to make the block. So Parkinson ran into him as well as the defender. He's able to bounce that run off to the outside and pick up some positive yardage by going down the right sideline. And that seems to be his preference, is to take those runs down the sideline. He did it a lot in week 1. He's done it a couple of times here this afternoon as well. And again, for Parkinson, it's just about getting past initial defenders, and once he's able to get into the 2nd level and 3rd level of the defense, it's so hard to bring him down.
So good news for Frederick. He comes off on his own power, and now we'll see what they can do if they can dial up right now what they can do. Emile Gregoire now in the game for the Cavaliers, and he's playing the receiver to the 3rd of the right of the formation here with LaRose in the backfield for Champlain. And here is LaRose up to the left side. He's got a hole. Away he goes. Enough for a first down. Brought down inside the 25-yard line. Matthew LaRose has been a really good reliever for Parkinson as a backup running back to him.
That's exactly it. And for LaRose, that's his first carry of the game, his 12th of the season. And that's what he brings. I mean, you have the lightning, you have the speed of Parkinson, and then you have the power. You have a bit of the thunder right there from Matthew LaRose. Matthew LaRose has some speed. Don't get me wrong. He has some speed as well, but he's definitely the power back of this offense. Kind of filling in the role last year the main man Anthony Muchaka had. A little bit of that thunder and lightning dynamic between Parkinson and Muchaka last year. Now it's going to be Parkinson and LaRose.
Yeah, a bit of Zamir White in him and Sean Main. Of course, the timeout called by Schwenegan as we're inside 3 minutes left here in this first half. Sean Main out there with the team going on the last second instructions. And the ball is marked off of the 22-yard line. And we'll see now if this could be a clinical finish for them and try and get themselves at least 3, if not 7 points.
Yeah, points of any kind right now are going to be crucial. Again, right now still a goose egg on the scoreboard for the Cavs. Champlain obviously the better team. coming into this matchup. But again, you have to put the game on the field, and right now down by 3. Champlain's looking to finally get some points on the board. Let's see if they can do it.
LaRose to the right. Play action. Langelier rolling to the right. He's going to keep it, and he is brought down by Simon Arsenault, who was like a missile shot from the skies, and he connected with Langelier, but a flag on the play on the near side, though.
I think Arsenault actually grabbed Langelier's face mask as he took him down.
And if that's the case, they will move it, and the flag will be removed. So no penalty on that. And with 2:45 left here in this first half, it will be Champlain getting the ball back. It remains in their hands, but it'll be second down coming up.
Yeah, it's a good job there by Jack Nudie picking up the flag, waving off the penalty. Might have been some incidental contact. Definitely there was no grab of the face mask. Looked like he might have just got maybe a handover, if at all.
Trips left for the offense. Receiver is Christopher Robbins, who's occupying the far width. Langelier looking towards the near side. He's pressured, being forced out of the pocket. He's going to throw to absolutely nobody, and he was being zeroed down like a predator as Quentin Joly, who came in there and had zeroed in on Langelier.
Yeah, Joly, one of the few defenders coming back. Last year, leading the team with 6 sacks. One of the few defenders coming back on the Schwenegan squad. This is a very young team for the Electrics, but again, you have to tip your hat to them and the coaching staff right now, keeping them alive in this game.
Champlain has yet to ask the questions of this Schwenegan defense, and now with this being a 3rd and 14, they have to get this first down, or at least get into close enough for field goal range. As they'll flip-flop the receivers, Jamie Edgell now will be the second receiver to the right of the formation, and going to the other side is Robbins on the near side. Low snap, botched. And that will be a fumble, loose ball, played backwards, and this is going back and forth like a hot potato. But nonetheless, though, Schwenegan will get the conclusion in their favor. Bergeron in on the recovery, and right now this has been a complete disaster for Champlain. Plan A has gone out the window, and now they're on to Plan B, if not Plan C.
And that is the second bad snap of the game by the center, Wolfgang Hawk, and he's hearing it right now from the O-line coach on the sideline. Again, a wet ball, you don't want to fault him too much. Wet ball is definitely hard to snap in this weather, but that's the second bad snap of the game for the center of the Cavaliers, and unfortunately for Champlain, it led to a turnover.
And now Schwenegan is starting to grow in belief that they might pull off the ultimate smash and grab and maybe get themselves a big win, which would reopen the top end of the RSEQ if this game were to go in their favor at the end of this matchup. Overload to the left. Early movement by Schwenegan. That'll be 5 yards back, and it looks like the quick twitch of William Lemay was the one who was the culprit on that play.
Yeah, left tackle, the big man there, moving a hair too early. And that's been the story of the game right now. Listen, Schwenegan's up 3-0. They could be up a lot more, but again, they're taking so many penalties, so many self-inflicted wounds right now for this Electric squad. Again, as I mentioned a few seconds ago, it is a young team, so you're going to have a lot of that, especially at this point early in the season. But if you're Schwenegan, you can't keep on poking the bear. You can't keep on giving your opponent so many chances, because Champlain right now, first place team, technically second right now, they're one of the top teams still undefeated. You can't keep giving them chances to stay in this game.
And you wonder when the red side for Upset City might be popping up here in this Seaway game. Handoff up the middle, and brought down was number 33 in Emile Goyer. And he was brought down by the second level of the Champlain defense. So this will be second down and about 11, if not 12, on this play coming up.
Good job once again by Rick Manny getting into the backfield, shedding the guard right there, and just penetrating into the backfield right away. He made the tackle, and he held the running back up and waited for some help to come. He's probably going to get credit for that tackle, playing at the 3 position right now, the 3 technique. Good job by him. He just has to keep it up.
2 minutes ago in this first half, Fortin Deschamps trying to keep a perfect game of not turning over the football yet. Handoff Vesson to the right side, and he is brought down this time by Pepin and along with Sassy. And it will be a third down coming up with 1:53. And by the looks of it, Sean, Schwenegan wants to ground and pound and not air it out with this weather being what it is.
That's exactly right now. I mean, it's hard to air it out. Even when they've thrown deep, they haven't had any successful deep passes. I mean, they've just been aided by penalties earlier in the first quarter of this game. And right now, you have the lead. It is running the ball weather, and that's exactly what Schwenegan plans on doing, at least to end this first half.
2-by-2 receiver formation once more. Champlain blitz from both sides. Looking, throwing, picked off by Champlain. This time by Blanchard. And hash of a moment, caught in two minds with Fortin Deschamps as he saw the blitz coming off the near side, and he just threw a prayer, and that prayer ended up being answered for Champlain by the football gods on this Sunday afternoon in this football field.
And you see the quarterback on that play right there. Fortin Deschamps, he wasn't sure what to do with the ball. They faked the handoff. They did the play action fake. He knew he had to get rid of the ball via the pass. There was no one open, and you could see he was like kind of a deer in the headlights. He just stopped. He stopped moving his feet and just basically chucked the ball over the middle of the field, and it was a horrible pass.
It reminds me of Trey Lance last Sunday in this type of weather here. He had a couple of those type of passes. So, I mean, it's pretty erotic, though, with the weather, what it is today here from Seaway with 1:27 left, how this has been a pulverizing defense for Champlain as the Bears were like against Trey Lance last Sunday.
Well, Connor was talking trash, but it's okay. So you see on that play right there, Elliot Levasseur, I think he's the most disappointed person in the stadium right now on the Cavaliers side. That ball went right through his hands. He thought he should have had the INT, but lucky for him, Blanchard was in the right place at the right time to scoop up that ball off the deflection and get a little bit of a return right now. So right now, the priority number one for the Cavs, obviously, you have to protect the ball. You have the ball just inside of the Schwenegan's territory, end of the field. Priority number one, protect the ball. Priority number two, they have to come away with some points. You don't want to go into the halftime with a 0 on the scoreboard. Yes, your opponents only have 3, but you talk about positivity, you talk about momentum, and right now the Cavaliers' offense needs to get some.
And that is good. This might be a pivotal moment in this game here. Schwenegan on the ropes a little bit with that interception. Could he get out of the corner and come up with a couple of body blows? Langelier going deep, far side. Edgehill, caught! Acrobatic and emphatic Edgehill answering the call on the far side inside the 20, and a big play for the Cavaliers.
Great job by Edgehill, not only making a catch, but jumping up, extending high to reach and get that ball, and also to survive the fall down to the turf. Great catch by Jaden Edgehill.
1:10 left in this game, and now in this first half, I beg your pardon, and Champlain in the score zone. Langelier, handoff, Parkinson left side. Parkinson up ahead to the 10. Parkinson moving up to the 5. And he is not in.
Fumble.
And recovered by Schwenegan. And just like that, Schwenegan was about to give up 6, and they prevent 6 from happening. And you can see a very jubilant Schwenegan sideline.
Yeah, and that can now happen. I mean, listen, you can't blame Parkinson. He's running, he's keeping his feet moving, he's trying to fight to get that ball into the end zone, but priority number one as a running back, you have to protect the ball. And obviously right there, you can see the defenders are trying to rip the ball out of his hands. He has to put 2 hands on the ball. He has to tuck it in there. Even if you're tackled short of the goal line, it's a first down. You have all sorts of time left on the clock to score, and that's just an unfortunate opportunity right there for the Cavaliers, turning over the ball when they were on the doorstep of the end zone.
They were on the cusp of crossing the borderline with their passport in check, but they got that stolen by Schwenegan, and now that Tech will have the ball at their own 2-yard line. And I think all Schwenegan wants to do is get into halftime with a 3-0 lead and just play this last drive cleanly as possible, with the weather being very paralyzing for both offenses in this matchup.
Yeah, Schwenegan, you have to be careful though right now. Listen, they're in the shadow of their own end zone. They're taking the ball over at the 2-yard line. You have to make sure the snap is clean, right? We've seen a fumble already. We saw it for Champlain off of a bad snap. If you're Schwenegan, you can't have that happen here, because if there's a bad snap, chances are the ball's going to end up in the end zone. You know, either give up a touchdown and give up a safety. So right now, the center to quarterback exchange has to be paramount. It has to be the key thing right here on this first play. And as you talked about, partner, obviously Schwenegan right now, they're making certain just getting into halftime, but they want to at least move the ball up a couple of yards before doing so.
Well, right now, the course of action for Schwenegan is to get out of their backyard of the end zone, where they are right now, parked on that lip of that. And we'll see now if Vincent will be the man who will be called on this play. Under center. Almost snapped and almost bobbled, and the quarterback sneak was a bit of a unnerving situation here for the Electric.
Well, and that's why I brought it up. That's exactly it right there. We almost saw a bobble right there. And
it's a safety.
And there you go. And there you go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That center, the quarterback exchange is so key, and Schwenegan couldn't get that down right there.
And right there, Schwenegan, as Brett made the prophecy before, has become reality like a Nostradamus. And now Champlain will get the ball back in what has been a very chaotic kangaroo court-like display of offense by both teams. And Champlain now will have the ball and perhaps momentum, even though they're going to be down at minimum by a score of 3-2 with 52.9 left here. So Schwenegan was celebrating, and now they are feeling a little bit of more angst than before.
In the words of the great George Costanza, I live and breathe. I live and breathe. But more importantly, again, see that bobble snap right there by the quarterback, he had to secure the ball first off, and then when he dove down, I don't think he realized that he was still in the end zone when he dove forward off of that what would have been a quarterback sneak right up the middle. I don't understand why you're running that play. I mean, that seems to be a bit of a Joe Judge play right there on 3rd and long or 4th and long. Run the ball. You have running backs for a reason. Even a handoff up the middle picks up 1-2 yards. You're still keeping the ball and you're not giving up points.
It is almost a mirror image of that Bears-Niners game last Sunday and how this played out for Schwenegan. And right now it'll be kicked off this time by Isaac Fournier. And for Champlain, I think their objective is to protect the football and go into halftime by a score down by at least 3-2, if not in the lead.
So we see some late alignment here by the special teams. They're not even ready for the kickoff right here.
And that will be going to Bentley on the near side on the one hop. Here's Trey Bentley going towards center field, now going towards the left field. He's got a hole. Bentley up ahead, and he's brought down the 50-yard line. And with 46.4 left here, Brett, you could probably get off maybe four if not 5 plays. If you do succeed, you might get yourself into field goal range.
There's tons of time. I believe Champlain still has 2 timeouts left. So a great return there by Bentley, obviously coming off of the kick after the safety. So right now with the ball just before midfield, yeah, you're right, Mo. Champlain has a lot of opportunities here to run a couple of plays.
And with 46.4 left here, what does Langelier have? He was benched in the first quarter. He has brought a bit more spark, but has petered out at times here for this offense. From the pistol formation, Langelier looking, going deep near side. That's popped up in the air. That is going to be intercepted. It is indeed this time by Lombardo. The French national comes up with a pick, and it's almost like a punt, albeit though on an interception format.
That's essentially what it's going to be, and unfortunate for Champlain, it comes on your first down. I mean, I understand passing the ball, but you don't have to go for all the money. You don't have to go for it all on first down. They could have thrown an intermediate route right up the middle of the field. You have Noah Sassy right there in the slot. That's where he's most dangerous, right up the middle, right up the seam. You would have liked to try and pick up a couple of yards on first down and march down the field.
And with 38.2 left, this has become a comedy of errors, of turnovers and fumbles and INTs by both teams in the last few possessions. And now a quarterback run and sacked. Wyatt Tannehill coming in there like a swamp monster and taking that play down for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, Wyatt Tannehill looking like Eric Armstead right there, the big defensive tackle of the Niners, penetrating, getting right into the backfield, making a stop, getting a sack, so dropping the Schwenegan offense backwards.
On Madden, perhaps, with 26.4 left in this first half. And you wonder now if you might take a couple knees, but it appears they're going to try to keep going at it, trying to chip away at this Champlain defense. A 3-2 hockey score lead for the Electric. If you had the over, you are in trouble in the first half. And a big crack block, as you saw on the near side, Fournier was brought down this time by Hurtubise, leaving an autograph on his uniform.
Hurtubise getting some props from his teammates. Yeah, and you have to wonder now, Fournier, if he's a little shook up. You can see him shaking his head. He shook his head when he got up, and now I can see him in the huddle from here right now. He's shaking his head as well. You hopeful, pardon me, that he's not concussed.
And this will be the last play of this first half. So the conclusion of this game is still to be determined. We're still in the balance right now. We're through 30. We're 30 to go. Champlain, Schwenegan, and the Electric are up 3-2 here from Seaway. Stay tuned on the Cavaliers Network.
You already made me 10 minutes late. Not too bad? She did.
It's not really working!
Is it remote outside of the thing, or is it inside?
Darren, wanna come?
Fuzzy ones like to get sweat. Like,
Where she gets the water? Oh, cool.
it's not in
How? No one's driving. Wow, we watched. I'm not motivated enough for football to watch it. I'm motivated enough for food to watch it.
But and then it gets longer because this was but like 15
This one? That's Taylor. Did you say why is this Taylor?
I think I drag her car. Not gonna lie.
It was like Fearless Era Taylor was always like this.
She always clothes like this.
She was always like,
I want to eat food.
and walk the subway.
I don't want Subway. You want Subway? You want Subway? Get up and walk.
You walk and get her somewhere. I like that. I like that. That's a good idea. You like that, eh? Yeah. You walk for me in time. No.
Do you need to chuck him to Danae? What? You need to chuck him to Danae?
Absolutely not. Oh, the one that you like to. Yeah.
Are you going to subway? Because you can go in the car. You don't have to go outside.
What's the fucking part of it? Let's go Subway. But there's only 5 spots. Uh-oh.
There's 5 spots?
There's 3 spots. Hey, I'm hungry. I want to go to Subway. Whoa, you can stay with Will. You want to run the cards? Yeah, they'll run the cards. We have to cross the street. Cross the street. We're crossing the Van Nuys, guys.
What's up? 3-2. It's a good hockey score. It's a good football score.
Scott, let these guys know I am the face that runs this place.
Pictures right underneath the Cavaliers.
Mofon Field by the So you want to whistle?
Scotty, I think today's the day I quit. Today's the day I'm done.
Who's girl? It's raining up there, Josh. It's raining down here. I know that.
It's raining up there. Everything's wet.
So they I think the rooter in my bag. Yeah. They tricked you to do the game because they knew it was going to rain.
Don't fucking chance you say that.
Spartacus said he was doing the game, but then he checked the forecast. He said, let me call Josh. So we did the cold game on Wednesday and the, I don't mind. I'm having fun. No, I know. No, it makes sense. We're starting to play really weird. Good balance.
So anyway, let's get everyone to lose this one.
This is not good. Oh, it is.
I won't play this anymore because I am not and scared of Scott.
Did they have any snacks? Huh? Did they have snacks? No. No. Yeah.
Nice jacket. You're not doing too good.
Let's go. How you doing?
Hey, so where'd you handle it? That fucking tank over there. No.
Cookie's hell of a job. Cookie's hell of a job.
Stealth of a jet over there.
Good man right here. Good man. Good man.
I was protecting your ass too like this, eh? Protecting like a gale force
A
coming
little
both
child
ways.
like umbrella?
I was like Thor over here, my friend. Protect me this way.
I'm rolling.
Don't injure yourself. Gonna break a nail. Well, it's only the time. Show. The time. Yeah. Exactly, Mike. There you go. Hey, thanks, bud. Exactly. What I do, man. This is what I do. Never. Yes. 100%. I'm trying to put my bag over the...
Sorry, guys.
Shamar.
Welcome back here to Kaz TV as we get ready for second half action from Seaway. It is a water slide effort for both teams, and right now a bit of an early movement here from either side as we get things organized for the second half action from Seaway. Brent Bach and Mo Khan, as it is raining, and it's expected to be like this for the rest of the afternoon, Brent. So let's get on the bathing suits and go for a little water slide afterwards.
Exactly, get the slip and slide out. I mean, we got the umbrellas out, we got the tarps down, so why not get a little slip and slide action while we're at it too. Hopefully both offenses could stop slipping on this water and get some more points on the board. Right now, like you said, at the end of the first half, a hockey score, 3-2 lead for Schwenegan. So let's hopefully see the Cavs put some more points here on the scoreboard.
Of course, Champlain could be looking ahead because they do have Victoriaville on the weekend next week. Take a one hopper, takes a funny pass, still alive, and Parkinson will jump on it like a grenade. And perhaps this Champlain-led team might be looking towards the Victoriaville game because that is a massive game for top two with the way things are shaping up right now. But they're in a dogfight down by a score 3-2 here from Seaway.
I know a few minutes ago we were on the sideline and I could hear Shamar Parkinson telling his team, or rather Trey Bentley, telling his team, how are we losing to these guys? We're better than them on the field. We're better than them, obviously, in the standings. How are we losing to these guys? But again, you have to come out and play the game. So maybe it's possible the Cavaliers might have overlooked these guys, but we'll have to see what happens now in the second half. They're a slow starting team, the Cavaliers, so far this year.
Hand off middle, Parkinson, and he is going to get gang tackled, led by Carillon. Xavier Carillon in on the tackle, and that'll be for maybe 1, if not 2 yards at best.
Yeah, it's not the first down run you want to see if you're the Cavaliers, but again, it's a marathon. It's not a race. So pick up a couple yards here, pick up a 3 on first down. Let's see what they can do here on second.
And again, trips right for L'Angilais. Good news for the Cavaliers is that Frederick is back in at the far wide out. That's caught, and that's going to go against the grain upfield, and that'll be close enough for our first down, this time by Lebec-Larry, and that will be enough for a first down as he was almost dead to rights going straight and then cutting against the line of scrimmage and now back in for a first down.
Yeah, he definitely cut that against the grain there. He thought for a second, it's going to turn into a pickup of 5 or 6 yards and turn into maybe only a pickup of 2 or 3, but he's able to find that opening, find that crease in the defense, and pick up some positive yak yards after the catch.
Parkinson to the right of L'Angilais in the backfield, 2 to the far left. Blitz from Schwenegan, up the middle. Parkinson up ahead as he cuts to the teeth at midfield and brought down this time by Ahmed Daniel. And you saw what he did, Brent, at the conclusion of the play, protecting the football.
Yeah, pick up of about 15, maybe 16 right there. And that's exactly, we saw him, he tucked that ball, you can see on the camera shot, he took that ball on his right side, right to his rib cage, right to his body, and that's what he has to do again with that costly fumble there late in the first half, which took points off the board. Again, Champlain was able to force a safety, but you want to come away with 7 or not 2 points. So good job right there by Parkinson of securing the ball while getting tackled.
Inside the Schwenegan end. Low snap, L'Angilais going left. That's going to be almost picked off, and the closest player was Ahmed Daniel. And that was a play that was disaster from the onset.
Again, it's another bad snap there by number 62, the rookie Wolfgang Hulk. Once again here, the offensive line coach is telling him, make sure you drive the ball. You have to drive it all the way around Because again, don't forget, it's not just him who's snapping the ball. The quarterback has to get it as well, right off of the snap, especially in a shotgun formation. The ball needs to be as dry as possible for the quarterback as well, not just the center.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 54-yard line of the Schwenegan end. That is 3 to the left. Langer looking worse. Hitch pass caught by Sassy, and he is hit. Rocked down this time by Simon Arsenault, who ID'd it from the get-go, and he essentially ran that play and blew it up in the backfield.
Yeah, and that's on Emile Gregoire. He has to come up with a block. Arsenault, yeah, he made the tackle, but it's because of a weak block right there by Gregoire. The screen pass is only going to work, and the hitch pass is only going to work when the blockers who don't get the ball are doing what they need to do, and that's obviously blocking. You have to pick up the defenders who are shooting down and trying to blow up that play, and Gregoire just did a poor job of making a block right there. If the receiver was able to get past that block, if the block was set properly, he would have picked up at least 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 yards, if not more, on that play.
That was a 4-yard loss right there, 3rd and 14. Langer now looking towards the middle. That's cut. Enough for a first down and more. Spinning their way through, up ahead, and tackle at the 35-yard line was Emile Gregoire, and he moves those sticks, and Champlain back in business.
So some redemption right there by Gregoire. I just talked about him missing the block there on that previous play. He's able to run that seam route right up the middle, made a nice catch, and then got some yak yards after the catch. So I guess maybe you could say he's back in the good books, if you will, being Emile Gregoire.
Cutting it up like Devontae Adams, where number 17 is Emile Gregoire out there.
Man, he could maybe be the Raiders' second receiver.
1st down and 10. Handoff, LaRose, and he grinds his way up ahead like a cardio machine, and he'll get maybe a couple of yards on that play. Brought down this time by number 88 in Sacramone for the Electric.
Now you look at that run, right? Was it for a first down? No. Was it for a touchdown? Absolutely not. But it was for some positive yardage. You saw the linebacker shoot into the A-gap, number 45, Jeremy Millet. He had that play stopped for a minimal gain, if not a loss, and good job by La Rose is keeping the legs pumping, able to shake off one tackle attempt and another, and he picked up, it's only 3 yards, but it's better than a loss.
Parks in the backfield. Low snap again, going towards the left. That is incomplete, intended for Frederick, and that will bring up a 3rd down here with 10:23 left in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and that play just, another low snap. The quarterback and Langer had to go down onto the turf to scoop up that ball. Just threw off the timing of that pass. You can tell Frederick came out of his break on the out route. He was expecting the ball a little closer to him and earlier as well. But again, the low snap just caused that play to move a second or two slower than it should have.
10 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, and Langer will call a timeout. And there's been a miscommunication here with the call from the sidelines towards the Champlain huddle. And you can just start seeing that there's a frustration starting to build up here for the Champlain offense that has looked disjointed for pretty much the entire game.
Well, they have looked disjointed. I mean, and you can't just blame it all on the weather. Again, we just talked about there's bad snaps. There's been some drops. There's been receivers, deep ball, the deep passing game, which has been kind of the linchpin of this offense, at least early in the season. It hasn't been there this afternoon. You have to give Schwenegan all the credit in the world. Their secondary is taking away all the deep stuff, only leaving open the short passing game, hence the hitch routes, hence the screen passes, and a little bit of the intermediate passes to the second level of the defense. And you can just tell the frustration is there. I mean, even when the Cavaliers do put some plays together, they've turned over the ball, they've taken penalties. This has definitely been a frustrating afternoon for the offense.
10:01 left here in this 3rd quarter. Parks in the backfield, and now Gregoire is also in the backfield. Looking towards his left, launching, going far side, and that ball was sent to the parking lot, intended for Frederick. And that will bring up what should be a 4th down here. And now decision time for Sean May. Does he go for it, or does he go for the field goal attempt? Because, again, the field goal kicking, their best is probably around 35, and they're at that marker right now from that position.
It appears to be they're going to keep the offense on the field right here.
9:45 left here in this 3rd quarter play.
The scoreboard is now saying it's 3rd down.
Well, is it?
For the sideline saying 4. Okay, now they changed it. Now it's 4th down.
4th down now officially. So 4th and 7 from the 32-yard line. Blitz from Schwenegan. Langer rolling. He's got real estate. He's going to take off. He's looking. He's going to take off. He should have enough for a 1st down. Great block by Edgehill out of bounds. And Langer did not see it initially, but he had pretty much oceans of space, and that keeps the drive alive with 9:20 left.
And that's quarterback, obviously, he's the pass first quarterback. He wanted to pass. That's why he waited and waited and waited before deciding to run. But a good job by him in picking up that first down, and a great job he talked about of Edshow on the sideline. Listen, as a receiver, he wasn't able to get open. He was not open. Langier was looking for him. So then what did he do? He turned around and laid a big block to create the opening for his quarterback to run up that sideline and pick up the first down.
Looking like a prime player for this Cavalier offense. Parkinson is a prime player for the Cavalier offense. Up ahead, he's protecting the ball again and tackled just shy of the 5-yard line. As he should be inside the 10, it appears, with 8:54 left here. And now you're starting to see the tails are going up here for the Cavaliers as they're hunting and hounding for 7 points and not 3.
Well, I mean, I think the halftime break came at the perfect time. Mind you, the weather also, it kind of helped both teams just kind of resettle themselves. But this Cavaliers offense, they had a chance to talk things over, see what was working, what wasn't working, change up the playbook. They did that in week 1 of the season as well. So obviously, look so far on this drive that they're doing it here. And the run and pass game missing in both has been key right now.
From the 8, Parkinson from the left, bouncing it out, going in, looking, dancing, and he's brought down this time by Mathis Arsenault. And this will be second down coming up here with 8:13 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, nice run right there by Parkinson. We saw big number 74, Josh Elliott, kicking out there from the right tackle position. He pulled to his left and was able to create a bit of an opening there for the offense. Of course, a lot of changes on this offensive line here this afternoon. Big number 77, the regular right tackle, Noah Roy. He's out of the lineup, so Elliott is switching over now. He started at right guard in week 1, now playing the tackle position.
7:45 left here. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Cavaliers. Lagelay, swing pass. Parkinson to the right. Parkinson fumbles again. Loose ball, and Lagelay will kick it up right back to Champlain. It comes into the hands of Lebrec-Lemire, and that will, Laurier that is, and what was disastrous on a miraculous kick by Lagelay into the hands of Lebrec-Laurier keeps the Cavaliers' drive alive. And for Shamar Parkinson, he's -4 in the fumbles lost today in the fantasy football world.
Yeah, that was a big fumble right there. I mean, luckily, again, football is a game of inches right there, and sometimes you have to get the lucky bounce. We saw Langier, the quarterback, so he was the first one on the ball, and he just tried to kick it out of bounds. And that ball, I don't know if he played soccer in another life or maybe when he was younger, that ball bounced off the turf and into the hands of Lebrec-Laurier. Luckily for the Cavs, so this does not take them out of field goal range. I believe it's only 3rd down right now as well, so they have another shot to get into the end zone.
Well, hold on here. Now there's a conversation about should the ball be going back to Schwenegan or not, because the kick and somehow this has created an advantage here for the Cavaliers where they still have possession, Brent. But right now, it's a bit of a confusion ending here. You can see the Schwenegan staff members not happy about that. And as a result, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 21-yard line.
Schwenegan coaching staff was confused. Even some members of the Cavs coaching staff was confused as well. That makes us in the broadcast booth just as confused too. But
Parkinson, and he is eaten up alive by 2 Schwenegan players led by Sacramone as well.
Now, if when we saw that fumble, if Schwenegan had taken possession of the ball and then fumbled that ball and it went back to the Cavaliers.
And that's what they're saying was the conclusion, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't, at least from our vantage point, it certainly didn't look like anybody from Schwenegan possessed the ball off of the initial fumble there by Parkinson.
Well, 2nd and 8 now for the Cavaliers. Trips right. Largely looking towards the left. He's rolling, pivoting, looking. Left corner of the end zone. Cut! Incomplete. Noah Sassy had his 2 hands on it, but at the conclusion, empty.
And Langier, that was a great throw right there in between 2 defenders. And again, as you talked about, Mo, Sassy was able to get his hands on the ball, and that's a rare drop by Noah Sassy. Usually, when you go back to last season, when he got the ball in his hands, he almost never dropped it. Same thing for this year. So that's a rare drop right there. Again, but what a throw. A spectacular throw right there. Again, between 2 defenders going away to the left-hand side of the field. That corner route right there by Sassy. If you're Noah Sassy, though, you're a veteran, you have to make that catch as hard as it would be.
3rd and 8 from the 18. And right now, Champlain, when they think they have the answers, Brent Bakken, Schwenegan continues to change the questions on them.
Yeah, that Roddy Piper.
That is correct. Lager looking towards the left, stepping up, middle, open, Sassy. deflected at the last second. Crucial intervention coming up from Lombardo as he read the play and made it the lost ground and prevented 6 points for the Cavaliers.
So Lombardo made the play, but that was able to happen because of the ball from Langier. He tried to get it over the goalpost. That ball was just in the air for too long. He has to throw that ball to Sassy, who was wide open on a frozen rope. You have to get your hips behind that throw, and you have to unleash a rocket to the end zone. That would have been caught for a touchdown. Obviously, Sassy would have to make sure he catches it and doesn't drop it. But that play by the defensive back was allowed to happen because the ball just hung in the air for a second or two too long.
So Nicolas Tetreault now in. This is going to be a kick from the 26-yard line. 5:45 left here. The operation is good. 5-3 lead for the Cavaliers. And now Schwenegan will be up next on this drive. And I believe, Brent, that was a 10-minute drive by Champlain and where they are now.
That's exactly it. It took out the majority of the clock right here in the third quarter, so a good field goal right there, but 35 yards, I believe it was.
That is correct.
On that field goal, so it still is a hockey score. You can even say a baseball score right now, but whatever it is, 5-3, doesn't matter. Champlain, for the Cavaliers right now, you have the lead. You put your defense back on the field now. Hopefully they could continue to do what they've been doing and come up with stops. Again, this game is far from decided, though, with a whole quarter left, and again, 5:36 remaining, as you talked about, in the third quarter.
That's the voice of Brent Block and Mo Khan here. 5:36 left here, a 5-3 lead. You're not misreading that scoreline on this rainy Sunday afternoon in St-Lambert, Quebec. The peering eyes of Hunsik and Victoriaville are watching this game ever so closely, knowing that this game, if it were to be a loss for Champlain, would reopen the top two spots in the RSEQ playoffs for the southwest of the conference. And that is long, far side. It is a returnable ball. Take a bounce. Will this go out of bounds? No, it's still alive. Recovered now this time by Vincent, and he is brought down quickly by Carvalho. And this will be a first down for the Schwenegan and Attrek here with 5:30 left in this third quarter.
So we're seeing whether it's a kick return or the punt return for Schwenegan, the returners are having trouble fielding the ball. This is about, I think, the third or fourth time they've misplayed a ball, they bobbled the ball. Luckily for them, it hasn't resulted in a turnover, but what could have been a bit better of a return. Now they start with the ball at the 18-yard line because the returner took so long to secure the ball in his possession. And switching sides for the Cavaliers, they have to get their special teams in order. We've seen the last two special teams opportunities in a row, special teams plays, I should say, where late guys are coming off the sideline, running onto the field.
Fortin Deschamps underneath the center, and now with a single back formation. Handoff, middle. Vincent, nothing but a black abyss of uniforms, led by number 36 and Anthony Lightfoot in on the tackle.
Yeah, good job right there, sealing up that run for a minimum gain of about 2 yards right there. These linebackers this afternoon for the Champlain Cavaliers have definitely been active. Talk about Sassy, talk about Levasseur, Lightfoot, Pepin. These guys have been around the ball all afternoon long.
4:40 left here. It'll be 2nd and 8. It was a 2-yard gain from the 22-yard line now for Schwenegan. They kept with this look of a 2-by-2 with two backs in the end. And now, what will be the dial up here? Pass play going far side. That is dropped. Incomplete, intended for Brosseau. And it'll be a third down coming up here with 4:21 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, Brosseau's got to make that catch. I understand the ball's wet and you have the rain coming down, but you have to make that catch for your quarterback.
And with that, 4:21 left here in this third quarter. Champlain 5, Schwenegan 3. 2 points separates these teams here. It might be a field goal game again, and touchdowns might be at a high premium like gasoline is right now. And with 4 minutes left in this third quarter, what does Schwenegan have on a money down play if they don't convert on the first down right now?
Two deep safeties right now by the Cavs.
Ball snap going deep center field, incomplete. And that play was lacking. There's a flag as well. And we'll see who this will be against. And that ball was intended for Fournier. And now what will the call be? And this could be a pivotal play. And this is going to be a situation where this might benefit Schwenegan.
Yeah, they're calling pass interference on the Cavs. I mean, the receiver, I can see from here, the receiver ran his route. It was a deep in. He slipped. He was not touched by anybody. He simply slipped at the top of his route.
And if you remember on the first drive Schwenegan had in this ball game, they were kept alive by third down penalties by Champlain. And now this script holds again on this drive for them with 3:51 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly it. 100% they were aided by penalties, but there you can't fault Champlain for the coverage. The receiver, he ran that route in between two defenders, but he slipped on his own. He was not touched.
Blitz from Champlain, handoff up the middle. Vincent sneaks his way through as he smugged himself out of harm's way and brought down this time by Levasseur.
Yeah, Schwenegan got a little lucky there. There appeared to be some early movement by the right tackle on that play.
And with that, it was a 5-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd and 5 coming up here for the Latrec. And you can start to see a bit of frustration here on the Champlain side, and whereas for Schwenegan, they look like a loosey-goosey team of house money being played by the visitors, who, if you remember, gave up 66 points to Victoriaville way back in week 1. Looking deep, going deep, right corner, incomplete, intended for Fernier, and in on the coverage was Levasseur, who dropped deep into coverage but could not get his angles right with his hands on that potential INT.
Yeah, that's the second drop, would be INT by Levasseur. He's going to not enjoy looking back at the game film on that one, but most importantly, obviously he didn't get the INT, but most importantly right there, he was in position to knock that ball away because that would have been a deep, long completion for the Schwenegan offense.
2:40 left here in this third quarter play. Brent Bach and Mo Combi. Third down again, Brent, and this has been the kryptonite for Champlain, trying to get off on third down and forcing a punt. 2-by-2 look once more. Tight end to the left of the formation. Handoff up the middle. This is going to be close to a first down. It will be a first down, and a well-played Cheekin class Goyer in, and the play call by Schwenegan catches Champlain with cement feet on that potential passing play, which ends up being a run.
They thought it was, the Champlain defense thought it was going to be a pass all the way. Great job by the offensive coordinator for Schwenegan, electing to run the ball. Had that big gaping hole right up the middle. Good job by both guards in the center, creating that huge alley for the running back to go through, and he picked up more than enough for the first down.
Jean Boutet, the OC for Schwenegan, 1:51 left here in this third quarter play. 5-3 lead for the Cavaliers. Plenty of time. Looking. Sacked! Brought down. Sauvé devours the quarterback in Fortin Deschamps. He had time, and he had too much time, and he got devoured.
Tyler Sauvé, his first sack of the season, coming around the left tackle, coming around the edge like she shot out of a cannon. Now, unfortunately, he seems to be hurt. He's down on a knee. But let's go back to that play again. Coming around, getting around that corner, beating the left tackle, looking like Nick Bosa right there, coming off the edge. And he just hammered the quarterback. And you can see Fortin Deschamps was down on the field for a few seconds, and you can tell Schwenegan was holding their breath. They weren't sure whether the quarterback was hurt or not. We see him now jogging to the sideline. He appears to be A-OK, but he took a shot from Sauvé.
And it appears Fortin may have hurt his finger on that play. So even though he instigated the sack, he ends up getting injured at the end with 1:21 left here in this quarter. It'll be 2nd and 20, 10-yard loss on that play from the 34-yard line. And for Schwenegan, what do they have in their passing repertoire if they have to go through the air? Because on that last play, Fortin was a predator and was ruthless on that conclusion.
Yeah, showed a lot of ruthless aggression right there.
And now a pass play again, screen. That is going to be called by Vincent on near side. And he is brought down quickly by two Champlain players, led by Pepin, along with Blanchard, who's slow to get up. It'll be 3rd and long. And with 43 seconds left here, Schwenegan might want to keep it safe and play the long game here going towards the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. You want to play the field position game. But a good job right there by Blanchard. We've called his name a lot this afternoon, Mo. He saw that screen happening right away. He got in there on the tackle, and a good job by the rest of his teammates, all rallying to help him out to make the tackle, stopping that screen for a minimal gain. So now 3rd and long now facing the Schwenegan offense. If you're Champlain right here, you can't give up the deep ball, and we have to watch out for that run again up the middle. I don't think they're going to go back to it, but you still have to be aware of it.
Pass play, near side, deep ball, well defended this time by LaFontaine. And Brousseau was the intended receiver. And you can see Champlain looking for a flag to see if that might have been the conclusion, which is not the case. And with 6 seconds left here, It'll be a punt coming up here for Schwenegan.
Yeah, so good job. You hear LaFontaine, he's talking to one of the coaches up here in the booth right next to us on the skyjack. He was saying that he knew the safety was going with the deep route, so he took that pass coming up the sideline right in his direction. So going from a zone, switching down to a man there on the third level. Good job by him of recognition of what the offense was doing and batting down that ball and not getting the penalty.
Sorry, Brad, I was going to say last play unless otherwise. And here is the punt, and this is a complete shank. That went for what should be about 13 yards. And with that, the end of the third quarter comes, and the fourth quarter upon us here, Brent, as we now look forward to seeing what happens in this fourth quarter play. 5-3 lead. And for those who had the over in the Vegas line, you're definitely not going to reach that over today, looks like it.
So it looks like it's about a 15.
No, I counted 13. That was like a 13-yard punt.
Well, it started at the 39-yard. So you're right. Probably about 13, 14, maybe 15-yard punt right there. Nonetheless, great field position right now for the Cavs. Let's see if they can capitalize on it, getting the ball just before midfield, so about the 49-yard line, I believe.
This could be the closeout drive in the early part of the fourth quarter here, knowing that points are not going to be at a high clip as it was in the weeks past. Middle LaRose, and he is brought down this time by Millet. And he's just over into the plus territory of the Shawinigan side of the 55-yard line. And it'll be second down coming up here for the Cavaliers.
So you can't be mad at that run. Yeah, it was only a pickup of 2 yards right there, but it's okay. And this is the tone that the Cavaliers have set all afternoon. They want to be physical in the run game, whether it's LaRose or Parkinson getting a rest right now on the sideline. So obviously we're gonna imagine we're gonna have to see him come in on third down again, electric two-way back. But LaRose still in the backfield. Let's see what he does here.
LaRose is still in the backfield. And here is a low snap. Handoff LaRose. Up the eye. LaRose, third level. And he's brought down in the nick of time by Ahmed Daniel. And what could have been a disaster play ends up being a pot of goal at the end of the rainbow and a first down for the Cavaliers.
And there you go right there, that right side, the middle of and the right side of the offensive line right there. Left guard, you have Mayar Rachmani. The center, we talked about him, Wolfgang Hawk. At guard, we have Adnan Gouda. Even the right tackle, Josh Elliott. They provided a big hole for LaRose to go up through.
And now first and 10 from the 40-yard line. Overload to the left of the formation, and now motion over to the left. Behind the back, this is a live ball. It could have been a fumble. Sassy was the intended receiver, and Brent, I thought that was behind the flow, but it's going to be called incomplete instead.
Yeah, the ball actually definitely was behind. The pass was behind. It was definitely behind the line of scrimmage as well. I'm surprised it's not a fumble. I mean, obviously right out in the Cavs' favor. And that's just a pass right there. Lanchier, he wanted to get that ball out of his hands as fast as possible. Holding on to the ball for a second and making sure your receiver is able to catch it. That's probably a better idea. Lanchier is probably a little too excited on that play. If they would have connected on that pass, Sassy would have had more than enough yards to pick up the first down.
And here is Langelet looking towards the right. That's caught short, this time up the field by Labrecq-Laurie. And he's been the sure-handed receiver for Langelet so far, making some big catches in the second half.
That's exactly it, working out of the slot there. He's just finding the openings in this the Schwenegan defense, and just sitting in the hole right there. And that's all you need is a slot receiver when you're playing zone. You find the openings in the zone, and you just sit there and make yourself available for your quarterback.
3rd and 5 for the Cavaliers. This is the money play for Champlain to keep this drive alive and put themselves even closer towards a score. Sassy, the second receiver to the left. Lange looking towards the right. That's short and incomplete. Intended for the aforementioned Labrecq-Laurie. And now the decision time here for Charmaine if he goes for it on 4th down.
And again, that's Dilulo Lange just throwing the ball too quickly. He has to set his feet. You have to give your receivers a chance to get to the top of the road, or at least get out of their break. I understand you want to get the money, you want to get the ball on the money right away. And you obviously want to try and hit the receivers as soon as they turn around out of their break. But sometimes you have to slow it down, especially in these conditions where running routes isn't going to necessarily be easy.
4th and 5 from the 35. Oh, and Schwenegan goes offside. And the culprit is Vincent Desjardins, who was going to come on a blitz from the second level. And unfortunately, his size 12s were offside.
Yeah, and that's just discipline right there. you're playing inside, you're right in front of the ball. You have to know when you're offside and when you're not. I mean, even if you're coming on a blitz, you have to time it properly. You just make sure you can't pass the ball. You can't go offsides.
It'll be first down and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Schwenegan end. Blitz from the middle. Hand off LaRose right by the middle. To the right side he goes. Bouncing out to the silence. LaRose to the 10. LaRose batters his way through to the 5-yard line. More than enough for a first down. And Matthew LaRose has been the atomic bomb that has blown up this Schwenegan front seven at times.
And this has been the Matthew LaRose drive right now. He's getting a well-deserved rest going back to the sideline. Getting a high five, or low five rather, from his teammate and running back mate Shamar Parkinson. Great, huge, big runs on this drive to extend the plays and extend this drive for Champlain right now. They're in the red zone and about ready to score.
And Parkinson has had 2 fumbles inside the 10. Low snap again. Parkinson is going to be stopped this time by Lucas Bisson. And it'll be second and down coming up here for the Cavaliers. And you would imagine, Brent, if Champlain were to score, this could probably put this game to bed because of Shawinigan's inability to really move the ball down the field as they want to with their passing attack.
Well, it depends right now. I mean, if they score a touchdown, I'm pretty confident saying this game is over. But if they only get a field goal, they would then only be up by 5, so I'm not entirely confident that this game would be over if Cavaliers only come away with a field goal.
Langelet, touchdown! Lebrec-Laurie. Langelet was the creator, and Lebrec-Laurie was the touchdown maker on that play. And now it is an 11-3 lead. They'll go for the extra point here and make this a 2-score game, Brent, and that might be too much of a mountain to climb for Schwenegan, given, again, with this elements we have, tough to throw or run the football.
Yeah, the anemic offense and the bad weather definitely not on their side. It's going to be a tough hill for Schwenegan to climb if indeed the Cavaliers are able to get this extra point here. Good job, though, by Langelet finding the receiver open for the TD.
Blocked! This is returnable. And now it won't be. So as a result, Brent, this keeps it to an 8-point game, a 1-score lead, and gives Schwenegan a lifeline that they can still maybe come back and pull off the ultimate smash and grab, maybe tie this game up.
Well, that's exactly it. And again, this is why we play the game, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what the records are. One team's 0-2, the other team's 2-0. It doesn't matter. You have to go out and play the game, and especially in weather like this, you have to go out and play the game and execute. And that's both teams are struggling to do so. And we see once again in special teams a mistake on the extra point attempt right there. So now, as you mentioned, Mo, it is still a 1-possession game. Now it remains to be seen whether Schwenegan can march down the field and get the ball into the end zone, let alone go for a successful 2-point conversion.
Well, they got the successful block on that, and now a chance for Schwenegan to maybe come back on this drive. This, with the way the clock is going, with 10:23 left, they might have for sure 1, maybe 2 more possessions left in this ball game. So this is definitely big for them. They have to come back. And now there's a number of problems for Schwenegan is Ahmed Daniel comes on, and now he's going back off. And now he's going back on. And now Tetro will kick this ball off here for the Cavaliers. This possession could change the fortune for either side. Schwenegan looking to get their first win. Champlain trying to keep up with the Joneses with a Hunting to be 3-0. Here they come. And Vincent will get up to center field and tackle just shy of the 35-yard line. And that is where Schwenegan will begin on this drive. And Brent, right now for the Electric, they need to get this ball going towards the opposing end.
They need to complete a pass downfield is what they need to do, really. I mean, again, they've been aided by penalties. It's the only real success they've had going deep. Everything else has either been batted down, dropped, or fallen incomplete. They've had successful spurts with the running game, but they have to start going to the pass eventually.
1st and 10. 2-by-2 look again for Schwenegan. Handoff to the right. Vincent bouncing out to the right. Near side he comes, and he's forced out of bounds. And you can see the autograph given this time by number 34 in Hurtubise. It'll be second down, and now Vincent is hurt, slow to get up. And that could be a big loss for their arsenal because he's a guy that is definitely one of the big hitters for the Schwenegan offense.
He is the best player. He is the big hitter of their offense this year. So, his mouthpiece is on the sideline. He's being tended to by one of the trainers.
It looks like his shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder. Hopefully, maybe it's just something like he's drinking some water. Maybe the wind got knocked out of him. I'm not sure. He's off the field at least for this play, so we'll have to see what Schwenegan does in his absence.
7-yard gain for him, 2nd and 3. Clock is rolling south of 9:40 left in this fourth quarter. Pass play. Going deep, up in the air. Is this 50-50? Great catch! Brosseau on the catch. Lafontaine turned his back the wrong way. Double flags on the field, but that keeps the lifeline going for Alexis Brosseau and for the Schwenegan offense.
Now, I'm not sure what the call is going to be here, but that was a punt more than anything else. That didn't really resemble much of a pass, but I mean, it got there, and Brosseau made a heck of a catch there.
And this is going to be flags against Champlain. And now Schwenegan is back in business here, and they are pushing the right buttons now, trying to get a potential tying touchdown in this ballgame.
You can see the frustration right now in the face of Lafontaine. He's screaming towards the sideline. He's definitely frustrated that he gave up that pass, and I think he's the one who got the penalty as well.
And because of that, this ball, with this being a UR, goes in at the lip of the 10-yard line, and with 9:20 left here, Schwenegan is now at the lip of maybe having the passport punch for points.
And the Cavs defense, they look like they're not even sure what's going on right now. They're looking at the sideline, not even sure what the call is.
Clock is rolling, 9:18 left. Handoff, middle. Batting his way through is Goyer, and he's stopped. And Brent, is this 4-down territory for Schwenegan?
I mean, there's 9 minutes remaining in the fourth. I think it's a little early, but again, you have to put it in a proper context. Their offense has struggled all afternoon. You know what? I would say it is. If I'm Schwenegan right here, you're not sure when you're going to be able to get this deep in the offensive zone again, in the offensive end of the field, pardon me, again. If I'm Schwenegan here, yeah, I'm going for it if they end up facing a 4th down.
8:42 left. They'll have 2 more cracks at least. Ball now at the 6, if not 7-yard line, 5-yard line officially, I beg your pardon. Vincent's back in the game. He could be the one to get this touchdown perhaps. Champlain showing blitz. Early movements. And this will be moved back by 5 as Theo Aubin was caught in 2 minds. And this will be early movement in 5 yards back.
And that's the second offsides against Aubin. And that's not what you want to see for Schwenegan. I mean, again, this hill to climb is high enough. You're making a little higher there and taking that silly penalty. It's a good job right there by the defensive end and Reed causing them to go off, causing the right tackle, pardon me, to go offside.
8:15 left. It'll be 2nd and 12 coming up here. Ball in the 11. Champlain showing blitz from the middle. Bob snap, looking out, dead play. It is a destroyed play, and this will go down for nothing on a botch from the get-go. And you can see Fortin Deschênes is thanking the football gods because he almost lost the bobble, and Rick Manning was right there to clean up for the tackle.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And the quarterback was a little bit of both on that one right there. Wasn't the play that was called, I'm sure, but he's lucky to get that ball back and avoid disaster right there.
And 7:35 left here. Brent's 3rd and 11 from the 11. 11-3 lead, I beg your pardon, for Champlain over Schwenegan. And we've not mentioned the name of Julien Leroy, who's not on the field right now. 2-by-2 look again, tight end to the right of the formation. Champlain again, maybe showing blitz from both edges. And this will be play action, roll to the right, plenty of space to work with. This could be the touchdown they look for. They got it! Fortin Deschênes gets the touchdown, and now the pivotal 2-point convert that could tie this game up here with 7:07 left.
Great offensive call right there by the offensive coordinator, Jean Boutet. A lot of the linebackers for Champlain bit down. They thought it was going to be a handoff. They bit. So the play action rollout to the right. The quarterback, he has a good size on him, the quarterback. And Fortin Deschênes, he was able to bull his way right over the goal line into the end zone. He survived 1, if not maybe even 2 hits right there. And now here it is right here. 2-point conversion. Can the Cavaliers hold right now? You have to imagine they're frustrated after giving up that touchdown.
A pivotal moment now that can define both seasons. Fortin Deschênes going near side for the tie. Picked off. LaFontaine on the intervention.
Yeah, man defense right there being played by Champlain's team. And good coverage right there by LaFontaine, picking off that pass intended for the receiver. The receiver was not open at all, and that one, obviously, the quarterback.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback looking for a one-on-one matchup, but he got it. But great coverage by the defensive back for the Cavs.
And a lifeline here for Schwenegan. And Champlain taking a blow to the jaw from the Electric with an electrifying finish on that touchdown by Fortin Deschamps. But now it still remains 11-9 lead. Game still in the balance for either side here in this fourth quarter, and 7:07 left in this ball game.
Yeah, Bember don't break defense right there by the Champlain Cavaliers. Listen, they gave up the TD. That's not something they want to do, pardon me, but they're able to keep them out of the end zone for the 2-point attempt. They hold on to this 2-point lead right now. So the defense did their job, at least in the tail end.
It looks like go for the onside kick here, Brent. The way they're positioning right now of the football. And this is a big player, and they will now go for the short kick. This will go out of bounds.
And that's a disaster right there for Schwenegan. That's not what you want to have happen.
But essentially, the ball went out of bounds at the 38, and it'll be moved up to the 40. So really, it's only a 2-yard loss on that play. Thinking they can bamboozle Champlain on that onside kick attempt. And Champlain will get the ball back. And now this is the biggest possession for either side of their season, going towards the final 7:07 left in this ball game here. Could the Champlain Cavaliers squeeze the seconds off this clock, or will Schwenegan get another crack at maybe pulling off the smash and grab and the ultimate sucker punch win over the Cavaliers?
I mean, this is why you have your run game, right? This is why you run the ball. You see big number 11, Matthew LaRose, back there in the backfield. Give it to him and see what he can do.
And it might be his number call. It is indeed. To the middle, LaRose will corkscrew his way through for a couple of yards on that. And that will make it second and about 7 with 6:42 left in this ball game.
A good job by number 45, Mileta, the middle linebacker. He grabbed maybe the shoelace perhaps of LaRose. If LaRose was able to get over that tackle, he would have picked up 5, maybe 6 yards on that play.
2nd and 7. 6:25 left in this fourth quarter. 4 receivers to the left of Langelier. LaRose in the backfield to the right. And here's LaRose. Navigates. LaRose is going to be close to a first down. He's brought down this time by Joly. And this is where it will be the biggest play for Schwenegan to try to force a fourth down and a punt coming up.
Now you have to wonder right here, will Champlain elect to hand the ball off to LaRose again, which would be a good idea, or will they try here for the bootleg? Will they try for the play action fake and have Langier boot out to his right or his left and try to pick up the first down on his own?
White knuckles football now, eyeball to eyeball. Will be 3rd and a long 2 coming up here. Who has the width and the fortitude? And Brent calls it, and this will be close. And Langelier somehow chicken-winged that play, and he's going to be short, I think, of a first down.
You're right, yeah. He's about a half a yard short right there. See, he booted to his right. He had the ball on his right-hand side. What he needs to do is, while he's running, get the ball in his left hand and extend the ball forward as he's going out of bounds. That would have gave him enough for the first down. So this is going to be huge here. It's going to be about 4th and...
And a nose.
Yeah.
Or a fingernail.
Or was it again that call against the Raiders? The Raiders Cowboys? Was a cue card there?
That must have been before the dawn of TV here. And with that,
Jack
timeout
Del
called on the field here from Seaway. And this could change the dynamics of this RSEQ Southwest Division and how this could be. If Champlain were to hold on, they would be 3-0 with a big matchup against Victoriaville on next Saturday night. Schwenegan wins. They keep their playoff hopes alive. And, of course, for both teams, they know what's at stake right now. And right now, both are at a standstill of how this can play out.
Definitely. This is, without a doubt, the biggest call of the game right here. Because, I mean, listen, if you're Champlain, you can't pick up this first down. You give your opponents back the ball at about midfield, or just before midfield, at your own 50-yard line. But with 5.5 minutes remaining, that's more than enough time for Schwenegan to try and march, is anemic as their offense has been here this afternoon. And obviously, if Schwenegan, you want to force that turnover. You don't want to have to extend the drive, let the Cavs march the field. Even if the Cavs aren't able to get points on the board, if you're Champlain, you can at least milk the clock. And if you have to get the ball back to your opponents, give it back to them for like 2 minutes remaining or less than a minute remaining, ideally. That would be huge for them.
Eyeball to eyeball. White knuckles football now. Langelier. Quarterback sneak. And this is going to be close. I think he might have been stopped. Referee has that past the first down marker. Referee is calling out a first down. And that could be a point of contention here for Schwenegan because they thought they had to stop at the line of scrimmage, and Champlain, by a forensic touch of a fingernail, gets the first down.
And you know what? I like that call because the quarterback, Langier, on his second attempt, he was pushed back without a doubt. But I think he already got the ball past that first down marker. Because don't forget, it says 4th and 1 on the play call, but it was definitely less than a yard. He needed about half a yard right there at the very most to pick up that first down. He just did enough on that first attempt to get it.
Handoff, LaRose, right side, and he is going to get taken down this time by Joly. And at minimum, Brent, if the Champlain Cavaliers were to run the next few plays here and don't get a first down, they could kill off another minute and a half of play clock.
But yeah, that's what I was saying before, right? I mean, listen, if Champlain can't, that's priority number one is get some points and put this game away. Priority number two is you have to melt the clock. Right now, the clock is, you can say it's your friend, but actually it's your enemy. You're trying to get it down as fast as you can. So you take the full play clock as you can and just you run your play before the time expires, obviously. And if you have to get the ball back to your opponent, you give it back with very little time left.
Handoff, Parkinson, up the teeth. Parkinson gets enough for a first down and more, and brought down by Joly, who raced back to make a tackle. And right now you're starting to see the leaning strength of Champlain's front five attack the front seven of Schwenegan with ease.
That's exactly it. I mean, you look at the offensive line. I mean, yeah, we talked about Roy. Roy is not in the lineup here this afternoon, but they still have a lot of size in this offensive line, being the Champlain Cavaliers, of course, and they're using that physicality and using their dominance right now to impose their will, and that's what they have to do. In these conditions, you need to run the ball effectively.
4-minute offense for the Cavaliers. Inside 4. Parkinson for a couple of yards, and he was tripped up this time by Millet. And it'll be second down coming up.
And Langier, I think he planted wrong after the handoff. He has a little limp right now. You can see number 1 standing, the quarterback right at midfield. You have to wonder, though, maybe a little later on this drive. Right now, Schwenegan's selling out to stop the run. 100% we've seen it. Even on that play right there, the handoff to Parkinson, if Langier would have kept that ball on the bootleg, he would have had green pastures in front of him for at least 12, 15, maybe even 20 yards right there. You have to wonder maybe if they're going to call a quarterback keeper a little later on.
Thomas Batson in the game now. Blitz from the electric. Parkinson dances his way through. Parkinson out to the far side. Away he goes. Down to the 20, and he's going to go out of bounds. That will stop the clock for the moment with 3:09 left.
Parkinson looking like Trey Lance running the ball right there in the open field. Picked up more than enough for the first down. And right now, this is perfect. If you're Champlain right now, again, you score some points, great. But right now, again, milking the clock right now is the first priority, actually. And they're doing that right now. Big run right there by Parkinson. This run game has been key. If Champlain's able to hold on to this victory, it's because of the run game here this afternoon.
And Parkinson's still in the backfield behind Langelet to his right. 2-by-2 receiver formation, tight end to the left with Batson there. You guys sell out here, Schwenegan. Parkinson is going to be stopped. Brought down this time by Sacramone. And Champlain wanted a flag. It will there will be no flag. LaRose will come back in for the Cavaliers with 2:43 left here in this fourth quarter.
The timeout call now, I believe, by Schwenegan.
So Shawi calls the timeout. And now for the Cavaliers, and here's the way they can look at it from this perspective. You're up by 2, so if you get at least 3, they have to go down the field to score a touchdown.
Exactly.
A touchdown by Champlain would put them up by 9, and that would pretty much end the game with this being a 2-score game. But again, they have to score to make this difficult for Schwenegan if they do win this ball game.
Pardon me, well, that's exactly it. They have to score here, whether it's a field goal, whether it's a touchdown. They have to get some points on the board. You can hear Shamar Parkinson right now on the sideline. He is hyped up right now. He made his way, after that run there, he made his way back to the sideline. He was telling the coaches, feed me more, feed me more. And you can't blame him for wanting the ball right now. Him, LaRose, and Parkinson have been killing in the Shawinigan defense here in the second half, and it's put Champlain in position to score. We talked about this drive. They haven't even tried, they've not even completed a pass. They haven't even tried to pass the ball. And Champlain, you can't blame them right now. The run game has been so effective. Right now they have Schwenegan back on their heels. Schwenegan's going to need to stop here. You talked about the points, right? They're going to have to try to hold them to a field goal and try to get the ball back with some time left on the clock.
And here's the bulldozer, LaRose back in for the Cavaliers. pass, middle, Batten, incomplete. And that stops the clock momentarily with 2:32 left. And again, you want to squeeze this game out with 2:32 left in this ballgame.
I mean, the idea was nice. Is again, Schwenegan selling up for the run. Batten was wide open. Just a low throw by the quarterback here to QB. You have to get that ball up. I mean, we make the argument. Batten got his hands on the ball. He should have made the catch. But if you're the quarterback, you want to throw that ball, give your receiver a better opportunity to come up with the grab and maybe get some yak yards.
Clock stopped at 2:32. That gave an unofficial timeout for Schwenegan. LaRose to the left of Langelier. Play action, rolling to the right. Short pass. That is caught by the sure-handed receiver in Labrec-Laurie. That keeps the clock moving, and it's a first down. And that could put this game away with 2:23 left.
Interesting play call right there. You thought for sure they were going to go with the run. But again, it was actually 3rd and 9, so no, the pass actually does make sense right there. And Champlain right now, they're playing for the points. I mean, you could have just ran the ball, got yourself into better field goal position to kick the field goal. But a big catch right there. We saw Labrec-Laurie, he was sliding while making the catch, able to make the grab and then get some yak yards afterwards. He was slipping and sliding on the field. Good job by the receiver.
LaRose in the backfield again. Blitz from Schwenegan. LaRose is stopped by a wall of white. So now Schwenegan is going to sell out to the run with 2:04 left here in this ballgame.
Yeah, a wham block right there. We saw Thomas Batten. He was lining up on the inside as a receiver. He came across the formation in the back and basically positioning himself as a tight end, coming just outside the tackle box, trying to pick up any receiver, any defender that was coming through. Big opening up the middle right there for LaRose, able to pick up a couple of yards on that run. Actually, no, pardon me, actually stopped for no gain. Pardon me. It looked like he had picked up a couple of yards, but...
Well, clock is rolling, Brent. 1:44 left in this ball game. A touchdown by Champlain will put this game away. LaRose puts the game away. Champlain scores. 17-9 lead, pending the extra point with 1:33 left. And you remember what happened last time? It was blocked and kept Schwenegan alive.
Yeah, big run right there. Again, LaRose right up the middle, right through the heart of the Schwenegan defense. Schwenegan, they simply had no answer for the run game, especially through the A gap. Both A gaps have been wide open. The B gaps have been open as well. Good job by the centers and the guards, the left and right guard, and this reshuffled, remade offensive line this afternoon for the Cavaliers.
And this is going to be pivotal now. This could put the game away right now on this extra point. Ball down. Execution is good. And with that, Brent Bakken is now an 18-9 lead, and this game is all but over.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you have to give Schwenegan credit. I mean, they came out, they fought hard, they had the lead for a good portion of this game. Just their offense. I mean, this is a team who scored 16 points in 2 games, right? They're averaging 8 points a game. They managed to top that here this afternoon, but they've only got 9. And for a team that's obviously fighting for the playoff lives right now, last place, or tied for last in the Southwest Division, they're going to have to find a way to wake up offensively. They're going to have to find some kind of initiative, some kind of spark to get the ball moving. They did a lot of good things here this afternoon. They were able to run the ball effectively. The quarterback especially was able to tuck the ball and run, pick up the only touchdown they scored here this afternoon. But they have to find a way to get some passes completed for more than 10 yards. Everything's been a hitch pass or a swing pass or screen passes. They have to advance the ball past midfield somehow.
Well, now we look forward to Victoriaville on Saturday Night Football, RSEQ football after dark. And that is going to be a massive game for both teams here for at least the number 2 spot, with the Huntsic being at the pinnacle of this division right now for what they've done so far. And of course, Champlain will play Huntsic in a fortnight's time, but their focus is to finish off this game against Schwenegan and lock up with Victoriaville next Saturday. And here is a return, a great gain for Brousseau, and at the 50-yard lines where it will be stopped with 1:21 left. So now, as you said before, Brent, what is in the playbook of magic for Schwenegan to get themselves a potential touchdown and work on the onside afterwards?
It's going to have to be a deep shot. But not again, they can't throw the ball near the sidelines. The quarterback, for us, is as tough as he's shown himself this afternoon. He's shown he can't throw the ball deep. You have to hit the seam routes over the middle. You have to hit the intermediates, the deep ends, or the deep outs. You have to throw to the hash marks, basically, because he doesn't have the arm strength to throw deep downfield.
1st and 10. Fortin Deschamps. He's got to launch it, and he will. Far side. That is a knuckleball going out of bounds, intended for Brousseau, and it'll be 2nd down with 1:16 left. And you talk about the missing piece, Julien Leroy, who we've not seen in the second half. For the most part of it, if not all of it, how much he's been missed by this offense.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, one of their top receivers, Leroy. I mean, and again, so you look at him and you take him out of the lineup, and you've seen the struggle of this offense, and specifically this passing game, when he's not on the field.
1:16 left. Clock is stopped from the 50-yard line. Champlain showing blitz. They drop out of it. Screen left. That is caught up ahead and brought down is Goyer. And this will be short of a 1st down. He was snatched by Reed of Champlain with 1:09 left.
Yeah, good job there by Goyer catching the ball and getting upfield. But again, going back to back to Leroy, he's the only receiver they have with over 100 yards this season. He has 73 yards last week against Drummondville. Him missing is a huge hole in this lineup.
We're inside a minute left. Racetrack is starting to run short for fumble. Loose ball. And this racetrack is coming to its end for Schwenegan. It'll be 4th down coming up here for the Electric.
And I talked about it all game, and this is for both teams, but especially for Schwenegan. I mean, that center quarterback exchange, you think it's so easy to do, right? I mean, you think it's commonplace. It's one of the first things you learn when you play on offense, especially as a quarterback. But in weather like this, in conditions like this, with an extremely wet field and even wetter ball, it's not easy to get that quarterback, the center to quarterback exchange. And right now, listen, Champlain, Shawinigan, they had the ball after a Champlain turnover, right? A fumble by Parkinson, they had the ball at their own goal line. They call a quarterback sneak up the middle. Again, I don't agree with that call. I think you have running backs and a fullback for a reason. You hand it off to them, try to get some yardage, get yourself from within the shadows of your own end zone. But they called a QB sneak right up the middle, QB keeper. He fumbled the ball. And then he picked it up and he got a knee on the ground in the end zone, which is why it ended up being a safety. And that was a momentum shifter in this game because Champlain was able to get the ball back right after that play, and they were able to kill any momentum that Shawinigan had, and they haven't been able to recover.
And Schwenegan's going to actually punt the ball away here as they're waving the white flag, knowing that, look, from the point differential of the head-to-head, fake punt and stopped. A play that lacked any creativity from Schwenegan, was dead to rights from the snap, and you wonder if that was a call because you see some of the players a little bit surprised by the conclusion of that play. And with that, 45.6 left, Champlain will be 3-0 going towards next Saturday against Victoriaville here from Seaway 3.
That play call lacked a lot of things, and I think common sense was at the forefront of what it lacked. Nice thought there by Caleb Sassy. If you're going to run a fake punt with less than a minute left, why not just keep your offense on the field? At that point, you want to go for it, obviously, and you have to go for it. Why are you going to wave the white flag and just kick the ball away? Keep your offense on the field instead of drawing up a play which had minimal to no chance of being successful. And we saw right there the Cavaliers able to get the stop and get the ball back, and they're going to ice out this game right now.
Well, the game is all but done. Champlain will improve to 3-0. Brett, final thoughts here as we wrap up.
So, first game of the season, it was a win for the Cavaliers over Drummondville. Their offense was stagnant to start the game. They struggled. I talked to head coach Sean Main and quarterback coach Dan Lazare, and they both were furious about how the offense was playing. It was a slow start, and they exploded in the second half, put some points on the board to get the W. Last week, their offense struggled to move the ball consistently, but again, they got the W. Same thing here today. They lack consistency on offense. Some of that, yes, was because of the bad weather. That bad weather did obviously affect both teams, especially when it came to snapping the ball, and especially as well special teams, but their offense was slow to get going in this one as well. As the schedule advances, as we talked about Champlain starting this week against Victoriaville, they're going to play better teams, Victoriaville, Huntsic. Your offense has to come to play from the jump. You can't wait to the second half of the game to get your offense rolling.
Well, they'll have one more game against Victoriaville to wrap up September. Then they'll have 3 away from Seaway. And now, a big matchup against Victoriaville here next Saturday night, which we'll have with Brent Bach and yours truly, Mo Khan, on RSEQ After Dark. So on behalf of Brent Bach and Mo Khan, wish you a good evening on a wet, fun-filled Sunday afternoon. Champlain wins 18-9. Schwenegan gave them a strong effort. Unfortunately, come up short. And Champlain now 3-0. Schwenegan 0-3. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now. White banana on 6, guys. On 6.